big, real quick switch around. Sorry, guys. Fixing things up. Yeah. There we are. Became a hoodie. He looks better that way, yeah. Nice.
Afrikan and Sagat, and then I think I had the Blanca, but I gave it away. I don't want Blanca, bro. I can't.
I agree. Screw Blanca. True. All right, so I'm ready anytime it switches to the stream. I just have the starting soon thing up right now, so I can switch. Alright. Alright, so going live in 3, 2, 1. There we go.
We can go ahead and give it a minute. Wait for people to come on in.
Yeah, let the folks get a chance to come through.
I know Brian. Some of Brian's people wanted to come on in.
Let me make up a Facebook post.
Like I saw, I know Espada is probably coming in, and he was tagging Nigel and stuff.
So how y'all's day been, man?
Man, I don't even remember, to be honest, bro. I just been sitting around. I just been sitting around.
My day was very chill. I slept in super late.
I just trained today.
You always sleep in.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up.
My man's DJ be texting me at like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I just woke up.
Hold on. Hold on, bro.
So
first of all, I first woke up at 12, and then so happened that I woke up at 4.
So you relapsed. Gotcha.
Yeah, exactly. Y'all's day was filled with meetings, but Dylan can't remember.
Well, yeah, we had a bunch of meetings earlier. Some shenanigans, you know.
Well, once again, y'all, since you don't care about KI, you missed out on another amazing top 8.
I never said I don't care about it. I just
Nah, you
haven't
don't
been
care.
watching
Don't
anything.
play.
I didn't even get to
Nah.
watch the Street Fighter 4 CS stuff.
I really liked the documentary when I watched it, and I recently did all most of the lessons in the dojo.
Okay,
Actually,
nice.
I
Yeah.
really want to watch it. I haven't had a time.
I think it's a
chance
really
to
cool
watch it.
game. Me and my friend Fernando were both kind of like trying to learn it at the same time.
Wait, learn
He
what?
said he's been trying to play online and then just getting like wrecked absolutely by everybody.
Are we talking
Yeah, the
about
rank
It's like-
system is terrible.
KI.
Yeah. KI is like, all right, go and fight this super trash guy that's like level 4. All right, fight him.
Yeah.
Cool, you beat him? All right, now here's a killer with 3 stars from the rank system. Go ahead and fight him.
Yeah, and it's a game that like rewards your knowledge of everybody too, because the breaker system and stuff, right? So it's like
Yeah.
if you don't know what you're looking for, it's rough.
Yeah, as a new player, it's trying to go into ranked. Yeah, you're asking to get baked up.
But yeah, there's like a small scene for it here in Louisiana, and they added me to the group, and they're like, "Oh, new players, huh?" They're like, "Oh, I get to work somebody, huh?" And I was like, "Please, I just did the dojo. That's all I did."
Who's still in there in like the Louisiana scene that still plays?
You know, Young Cam the Star.
Oh yeah.
Who?
I don't know him very well, but yeah, I've talked to him.
You met him?
Met him at tournaments, yeah.
Yeah, he always goes to Slam. He plays KI, and then he does like, y'all have a basketball tournament or something? Because he always be asking me to come out there and hoop him up.
Yeah, no
That's not what
basketball
he says,
tournaments
but
out
he-
there.
No basketball tournaments out there? That man be
Maybe-
sending me videos and everything from it.
Maybe he just wants you to come play
I don't
basketball.
know.
We had that Red Bull thing 2 years
not
ago.
sure.
What,
I think you're just not in the
We're
know,
probably not plugged
you
into
know,
that.
because
I
he
play
definitely sends
basketball
me
a lot,
videos
bro.
from this tournament. You
I
can't
made-
hoop. Get out of here.
You want to play
can't
me?
hoop.
I put
Oh,
$500
snap.
at.
I
I put
will shake
$500,
and bake your shit.
bro.
I will oven roast your shit.
Bro, I promise you, play me, you'll never stand on a basketball court ever again. I put
Oh
that on my
my
life.
God.
What?
Dylan.
You'll never walk on a
Dylan.
basketball court again, bro.
Really?
Dylan, you
What?
look like you dribble with 2 hands.
Bro, and, bro, your ankle's gonna get broke. You got look, after I make it down the
Oh,
court,
man.
you're still gonna be laying down waiting for me to come pick you up, bro. I promise you.
Oh,
I promise
I've
you. Look,
heard this, man.
I'm trying to tell you that it can happen. You ain't gotta hear shit. We can make this a reality,
Bro.
Hey,
The
man.
sneakers don't make the hooper, bro.
bro.
Look, hey,
Yeah.
look, hey, look.
The hooper makes the sneakers.
This is the same thing,
Look,
right?
you don't want to get embarrassed, bro.
Y'all know how this happens all the time, where someone talks shit, then the other guy's like, "Let's make it happen." The other guy's like, "Nah, bro. You know everything, but let's play." You trying to play because Dylan wants to play.
I want to play. I don't want to
Bro,
talk.
I would definitely hoop his shit up if we meet in an event. Let's get
Look,
it.
you're gonna make an attempt to do so. You're gonna make an attempt
It's
to do
not
so.
gonna be an attempt, my friend. I'm going to
All right,
hoop
look.
your shit up.
Look, so what's on the line? What's on the line?
Oh, man.
No. See, this is where guys always try to make it about some money. No, it's talent versus talent. I'm gonna hoop your shit up, man versus man. This ain't got nothing to do with no greenbacks. This ain't got nothing to do with my
Dang,
hand
that's
collection.
pride.
I don't
This is
wash.
man versus man balling.
I don't wash
You
scrubs
can
for
never
free,
step
bro.
on the court again.
I don't wash scrubs for free.
Damn, I don't watch scrubs for free, yo.
See,
I'm thinking
a man that can't work up a sweat just for the sport is the man that gets his ass hooped
I do
up.
that every day in the gym. I don't need to do it on the court too, bro. Look, you're gonna regret it, bro. I promise you.
Dylan, think in your heart of hearts. Just go to the back of your mind right now. That guy that's talking back there, and he's like, Dylan, dude, you don't really hoop. That guy. Listen to him.
I'm apologizing to you.
Listen to that voice.
Apologizing you in advance. I'm apologizing to you in advance, bro. You're gonna be on that court being like, I done fucked up. I promise you.
Oh my God.
I promise you. Look, and if you and your friend that's down here both want to get it, we can set up a 2v2. We could. It is what it is,
bro. There's a basketball tournament that happens in your city, and you
no,
don't even know
there's
about
not.
it.
All right, look, I'm about to look it up right now. I promise you, that's not true. He legit was probably at the Red Bull tournament we had because Red Bull came down here last year.
But did you play though?
Fuck no, I had work and I had nobody to play
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
What?
Because I didn't go spend money to play in a Red Bull tournament.
Oh my God, bro, he's reaching, bro.
He is reaching.
dead.
He's
I'm dead,
like
bro.
that's showing that he already knows that he's reaching that hard. That boy about to pop his arm out of socket.
He was saying,
Oh, man.
oh, you had to work. We got him. Wait, what?
Oh man.
Yo, hooping over working, bro. That's the real. That's how the real life of a baller, bro. You can't go to work where you can hoop.
Thank you. That ball is life. He knows.
All his life, bro.
Come on.
Fuck the rent.
Exactly.
We did have
If
one
your
that was supposed
crossover
to
week,
happen
if your
in
crossover
July.
week, you better lose your house and get that shit together.
Damn.
Apparently, we were supposed to have one in
Shit.
July at the Pontchartrain Center, but that shit ain't happening now because of Corona. Registration
man.
locked
Dang.
at $675 per team.
Wait, what?
The registration for the tournament that was supposed to happen down here in July, the registration was $675 per team.
And that was all going into a prize pool?
I don't know. Let me see. I'm reading it right now, but that's what I'm curious. Like, where's this money going? That's a lot of money for one team to sign up at the Pontchartrain Center.
That better be in the prize pool.
Your high roller team tournament?
That's what I'm saying.
Does Dylan is killing really hoop? Thinking
Nah, I ain't spending that kind of much money. I'll beat Curtis for $675, and then I'll pay the registration with that money, and he can play on my team. Yeah. I've never even heard of this before.
Guys in the chat, you guys y'all already know, guys. Anybody in the chat that knows him personally, tell him to stop it.
I have no idea if he played. Did you even play basketball when you're?
I played basketball pretty much my whole life, basketball and football.
I mean, I believe it.
He played football.
What? Why?
He played football.
Yeah. I feel like I've heard you
basketball.
talk about playing football. I didn't know about basketball.
He didn't play basketball. He just owns basketball sneakers. He didn't play basketball.
Curtis, you don't want it, bro. You don't want it, bro.
Oh,
I mean, bro, we're gonna see each other again, and we will find a basketball court. And I'm down to do this. It's fine if you're a football player. It's fine if you're athletic, but that doesn't mean you can hoop.
Bro, you gonna see?
I'm going to. And you better practice in the meantime, because
This
you don't
dude,
know how
Lumen,
right now.
he said I touched a couple balls in my day. Well, that's why you over there.
My lord!
That's why you over there walking around casinos, slapping asses and shit.
Oh,
hey, Dylan, what I tell you last week? I'm gonna have to do this once an episode.
Y'all already made us lose. I guess
I'm out of
he's
here.
gone. All right, thanks for watching the Croissant Cast episode 4.
Look, Lumen getting quiet now.
Oh my god!
We're gonna bring sleep back in there for a second.
Had a great conversation.
Isn't this cast about
see you
Doc?
next week?
Oh my god!
It's not about me. It's about hooping now.
So, do you hoop? Is the question, Doc?
I do actually. I just don't want to talk. It's not about me. It's not about me.
No. I wasn't about to. I wasn't about to challenge your hooping skills. I wasn't about to do none of that. I just wanted to know if you hoop.
Do
you hoop for fun? Do you play in a league? Did you play in high school? What you do, sir?
Recreational. I dribble. I shoot. I dunk. Every now and then.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right on.
Recreational. I'm not claiming to be the best of the best breaking ankles, but I've broken a few ankles in the past. But it's not about me. It's about y'all. Don't worry about me. Can Dylan hoop?
I agree that I'm not the best of the best either, but I just know the kind of people I can hoop up.
So you're saying when you look at Dylan, you've met him, you know him, and he's a liar.
And it's the time.
You're saying his shoes are too nice.
He can't stick me, bro. Then he's gonna get burnt down the court. At this point, he's just gonna be turning around, looking circles. Like,
all bullshit aside, Dylan, my best attribute ever in basketball when I played on the teams, when I did anything, was defense. I was not a scorer. I am a defensive player. So don't ever say I can't stick you. I don't want to hear that from nobody.
Hold up, is that Fernando's or yours, Dylan?
That's my emote of my face. Yes.
Oh my god, that is too fucking good.
That is me after losing a set at Was it a NOLA Game Fest or something?
I remember seeing that picture. I didn't know it got turned into an emote.
Yeah, I made an emote when I got affiliate.
Oh my!
Yo,
who do the
post your
hands
own
belong
emotes in the
to?
chat if you got them.
Who's the power up hands belong to?
That's
No,
just a global one.
That's
Default,
just an emote, yeah.
And that's godlike because that's very relatable to multiple games as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the psycho power.
Yeah, too easy.
I love those hands. That thing is hilarious. Like anybody from any channel, if you have your face somewhere, then people will put the hands on both sides, the face in the middle. Yeah.
Yeah, those.
Sleep has a emote of me. Actually, I think I put it in the chat last time. He has an emote of my face. He has his face and he has my face on there too. And people, whenever I jump in the stream, they'll put the two hands of my face in the middle.
We got Rob.
There we go. I got you on one.
Oh shit.
Here we go.
My bad if y'all hear my cat. That man going crazy.
I'm surprised mine's being so quiet right now. Oh, the Rob TV one, no.
What an angel.
That's actually my emote.
The Rob's your emote?
Yeah.
God.
Because I remember Rob and I were talking the night before. And he was like, I'm gonna make a video about this tomorrow. So when I clicked the video, that was the first frame, and then it froze. I was like, that's my new emote. He was just happy. I was like, okay, there we go. Because this is right after he played Rushdown. And he was feeling himself. So when the video started, it just froze on his face. He was mad happy. I was like, yeah, that's the one. They need more emotes like this.
We can go ahead and hop in now. I didn't even realize it had already been 17 minutes. Audio sound okay? Oh, unless you asking.
I'm asking everybody.
Okay, we're good. All right, so let's just go ahead and jump on in. This is the Croissant Cast, episode 4. We got the special guest, the all savior of the FGC, the mentor, the coach, the teacher, the god, the doctor himself, Dr. Afrikan. I'm Dylan is Killing. I'm joined with my co-host.
Is it Master Flex?
And DJ Malady.
So let's go ahead and get on in. So, Doc, let's ask, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, something that, people might not know if they don't know about everything that you do for our community?
Well, people who know me probably know a little bit, right? I'm Dr. Afrikan. My name was a complete accident. So when I first started off, my first name, we're talking about first names before on Rob's podcast. My first name was Lil Trey Flip. I remember you guys laughed about that. And that's because it has something to do with it is skateboarding based, right? But you would think it's because of a tray flip. That's because my favorite trick was a varial kickflip. And I just chose Lil Trey Flip because a varial kickflip to me was like a Lil Trey Flip. It was just weird. I was 13. It didn't make sense. So from that point, I remember I made my own account because that was my brother's account. And then they used to just call me that African kid. I think back, it's like, yo, that was kind of messed up. But I made my name African. My name was just African, right? And so I went through a bunch of names. I was African Wiggle, African Beast, dropped on Doctor African, properly spelled. But then Facebook wouldn't let me use Dr. Afrikan because they thought doctor was a title. So I had to get creative. And so I put Docta, and African was not allowed. So I used K. And then when I went to my first regional and I won, that was the name that they put on stream, even though the name I had was just African. So from that point, Dr. Afrikan was my name. It just stuck from that point. So that's how I got my name. You guys may or may not know, I do coach people, like Dylan said. That's primarily what I do. I do compete, and I'm just trying to do dope shit. Honestly, just trying to do dope shit.
I respect it. So last night, I know you were in the BLM stream that we had for charity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
we raised about roughly 200. It was great. What do you think about Toy getting wiggity washed?
You want me to talk about Toy?
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Toy really gets enough heat from me directly, but I think Toy's a scrub. But
Dang.
But like not the way you think.
Yo.
Not the way you think. He's godlike. Like that dude's he's probably like top 5 in the US, but he's a scrub.
Okay.
Like Toy does a lot of shit that I legit just disagree with. I'm just like that is the dumbest thing you could do.
Yeah,
But
like
for some
stuff you
reason,
don't
when
think it'll
Toy
work out.
does it, if Toy is the one doing it, it works. If I try it, I get washed by everyone. I get smoked by everyone. But Toy does it, it works. Toy's a scrub. So I don't have much to say about Rob beating Toy because Rob is also a scrub. Rob, nah, that's a lie. That's a lie. No, but I think that set was interesting because that matchup has changed a lot. Karen versus Bison. That's a matchup that I'm not a fan of. It is kind of even, but Karen's kind of annoying. And Rob has gotten a lot better in like the last 5 to 8 months. People haven't realized that. So I think that Rob and Toy are probably going to have a lot of back and forth. Like there's going to be a lot of that. This is probably the beginning of something that's going to be ongoing for a while. So I don't have much to say about the match itself, but you know, like I said, I like watching both those guys lose because sometimes they make me really mad when I play them.
So I didn't know that there was actually Karen. Is it so Karen's in favor in that matchup?
It's probably about even. Either way, it's like either Bison has a slight advantage or Karen has a slight advantage. It's one of those matchups where it's like anything can happen. So I think that like you notice whenever after I played Rob, he got excited about our team, right? He's like, "Yo, our team is crazy." Because I mean, we play other people. We know the skill level of other people, but then when we played each other, it was like, "Yo, this is fucking hard, bro. This is too hard." Then I can just imagine what happens when we just all go to one event. Like my logic is like some shit might happen and I lose, some shit might happen and Toy loses, right? You can beat one of us, but like by the time you beat all of us, or even if you get to all of us, it's gonna be really hard, man. I think we have a squad, like a real squad for real.
Just in Street Fighter alone, I mean, now we got you. You know what? By the way, your announcement was absolutely godlike. I don't know if a lot of people know this, but the fact that the first pretty much half of that video was all you, it was insane. Definitely, I noticed our announcements have definitely continued to grow. Like Rob's was really good, the teaser of like going into the TV, and then Toys, but like, and then yours was just like, the bar just keeps getting set higher and higher. So like, damn, the next person that comes aboard has got to be insane for that. But
Yeah.
welcome to the team. We're extremely happy to have you. We have a insane roster. Now, I mean, just in Street Fighter now, we have you, we have Toy, we have Carlos, and we have Rob. So it's like if we do a team tournament, any three of y'all can, I'm just gonna say it, can wax most 3v teams easy.
Yeah.
And like I said, if we can avoid team kills, we definitely have chances to have multiple Crescents in top 8 now.
Yeah.
So it's extremely exciting. I can't wait for this season. Well, mostly for CEO, but definitely the 2021 season. So I already know the answer to this a little bit, but I feel like some people are wondering. So we're gonna just go ahead and ask the question that, you know, for the culture. What's up with the sandals, bro?
So people think it's an African thing, but it's not. It's really not.
I was wondering.
Like,
yeah, that was like the first. Isn't that the first cut of the announcement for you?
Yeah, it is. But
video?
yeah, but that's because people know me for that, right? And it's become a thing. I mean, even my own family makes fun of me for that. So, like, I remember whenever you remember the Blink All Stars thing, right? When they made my image, my picture, they put Cycle Flames on my feet. And then I remember when I posted it, because my family has a group chat, I posted it in there, and they were like, that's probably sandals. They didn't want to draw the sandals. I was like, yeah, probably. Because everyone knows that. I just hate shoes. I don't like shoes. I'm not a fan of them. Like, that's me being real. I hate the weight of things on my feet because I've always been a mobile person ever since I was a kid. Like I basically was doing parkour before I knew what parkour was. Right, I was climbing guava trees and shit. Like I've been that guy. So shoes have always just been an annoyance to me. So I spent most of my life not wearing shoes, just being bare feet. So flip flops were like the absolute minimum. It's like, okay, I don't even feel these things, so they're good. That's why I like Toms as well. Toms are good. I like those. Like anything lightweight on my feet. If I don't feel like I'm wearing shoes, then I feel good. So It's to be honest, it's not some like weird, big, long story, man. I just hate shoes. I don't like shoes. I see Jordans.
I mean,
Jordans
just
make
a
me
quick
cringe.
question. Just a quick question, bro. I don't like Jordans either. I rock with you on that. I grew up and I had a few African friends, met their families, and they rock sandals pretty heavy too. So that's not an African thing. Because even myself, I thought so too.
No. Like it's a thing where I mean, it's definitely more embedded into the culture, right? So, for example, if I grew up here, I'd more than likely be wearing a lot more slides, right? I'd be wearing a lot more slides. So flip flops were just the thing that was easy to get. Like, bro, it's mad cheap. A kid can afford that. So it was that simple. So when I got used to them, it was just my shit from that point. So Africans do wear flip flops in a lot of more non-city areas, right? You see a lot more flip flops there. But like when you go to the city areas, it's just like anywhere else. So I guess it's like it's a preference thing because everyone wears shoes eventually. I never wear shoes. I wear shoes sometimes. That's the thing, right?
Like when you when you have to.
Yeah, when I have.
You ain't about to roll up to no club in sandals.
I have before. They
shit!
They let me get away with it.
Yo, that's crazy because I actually got denied from Evo 2016. Before the Luxor had the Esports arena, when it was that club before.
Mm-hmm.
It was me and Toy were actually together for that. We rolled up to that together. At the time, this is when Evo was still in the convention center. So going to the Luxor was like a 20-minute fucking Uber ride from the actual Evo hotel, considering they only did top 8 at Mandalay Bay. So me and Toy got dressed and everything, and we roll out there. And I forgot what I was wearing, but sure enough, bro, after waiting in line for an hour and a half, me and Toy went to the little convenience store in the Luxor, grabbed beers, finished the beers, waiting in line. We get up there. I had to turn around, go get in an Uber, and take a 20-minute ride to go change. Damn. I was pissed, dude.
Yeah, that's kind of dumb. I mean, clubs are weird like that. There's just one video I'll talk to you guys about after. But yeah, clubs, they have weird rules, really weird rules. And I don't. There's some rules like, why not flip flops? Why not? Why can't you wear flip flops in club? Why can't you wear a shirt without collar? What's that? Like, what does a collar do for you? I don't get it. I've never understood it. But I mean, I don't go to the club that often anyway. So
yeah, I'm not gonna lie. We went to a couple places that years where the dress code was definitely like on point. Like they were very specific about our dress code. But like even regardless of the amount of fucking piles of shoes that I have stacked up, I wear slides and socks everywhere. Like I haven't worn any of my sneakers in like almost 4 months just because I just wear slides with socks, which people used to try to roast me for wearing slides and socks. And I'm like, that's normal to me. Like, yeah.
Like, why do people hate?
Get that foot naked and slide it in there.
Nah. I'm not
that's weird.
I ain't got pretty feet, fam.
Why do people hate things that are comfortable? Like, why do people roast you? Why do people roast you for being comfortable?
Yeah, why people hate Crocs?
Gotta look fly all the time. Like, come on, bro. There's a time to look good, but I don't have to wear like. Why do I gotta wear Jordans while I'm at home? Like, that's stupid.
Nah, check it, Doc. The whole thing is the slide is to be comfortable, right? You put your butt naked foot in there, and it's good to go. So why cover it with more? If the whole point of the slide is to be ass naked.
Well, there are many things. Oh, for example, right now it's hot, right? It's hot in here, right?
Okay.
My feet are starting to sweat. I can feel it, so I have to take off my slide. If I had socks on, this wouldn't be a problem, right?
So the foot wouldn't be sweating.
It wouldn't. I mean, it would be, but it go into the sock. That's what socks are for.
So that's the tech.
But also, you could use the socks as a fashion complement. Like you can have your socks match your shirt, for example, right?
Okay.
Blue shirt, blue socks, black slides.
Dang, the sock coordination. Okay.
Godlike.
All right.
See, you're thinking too simple. You think you can use it to your advantage.
You got to blow the brain up, bro.
Let's take it to the next level. If the sock is to absorb the sweat.
Okay.
Carpeted slides. Come on, man.
I don't want to sweat my slides. Bro, I wear Ultra Boost slides, bro. I'm not sweating in those things, bro. I'm sorry.
You gotta like dry clean them. It could work. I've seen like fluffy slides. I've only seen like female versions of those.
Yeah, true.
The Rihanna Pumas.
Yeah, I'll rock them. I'll rock them. I don't care.
If they look comfortable, I'd rock them
if
at
they're
home.
comfortable, I'll rock them. I don't care. Whatever.
Hey.
So you said something I actually hold on. So you didn't grow up in the U.S.?
Mm-mm. I moved here when I was about 12.
Okay, I didn't know that.
I've spent most of my time here now because I'm 20. What am I now? Jesus Christ, I'm 24 now. I'm old. I'm older than I was, obviously, but I spent more than half of my life here. So fair to say, I'm full Texan at this point.
Say it proud. So you moved here. You didn't get into Street Fighter until after you moved out here, then, right?
Okay, I was a button master ever since I was a kid. I played fighting games. I played a lot of sports games, FIFA, action games, puzzle games. I was a true gamer back then. Now I'm just a Street Fighter player, but I was a true gamer back then. And I used to compete with my brothers a lot because I have two older brothers. I compete with them a lot, and I would compete. Their friends would come over, and my brothers were kind of messed up because they would have their friends. They would have their friends play me, and then they would put money on me because they knew that I was basically better than them, right? Like I was better than my brothers at the games. So they put money on me. You know, you can't even beat my little brother. How are you gonna beat me, right? It's like, oh, yeah, I'll wash him. And then they'll play me, and then they're just like, "What the fuck? This kid is unbeatable." And of course, I just knew how to match at the right times. I didn't really know how to DP, right? But I knew if I did this and hit punch, at some point a DP would come out. I didn't know the actual input though.
Wow.
So I was like strategic master kid. I didn't really understand how inputs work, but yeah, I've played fighting games for a long time, but I would say I learned about fighting games when I first saw Justin Wong versus Daigo. I was in middle school and I was watching. I found out about Street Fighter 4. My brothers got it. I got on YouTube. I saw that match, 2009 Evo, and I was like, "Yo, what the
Yeah.
hell? This dude is so good."
That is actually the exact same Evo like video that got me into fighting
Oh
games
yeah,
too. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. That's same
So
Evo.
I remember I showed my brother that video because I played Ryu at the time. I showed my brother that video. I was like, "Yo, look at this guy. It's like there's nothing special about him. He's just throwing fireballs. I can definitely beat him." I was like, "He can't even see what I'm seeing. He has no idea like how the fireballs recover, how the zoning works." And I'm just like, "This is insane. How is he doing this stuff?" So I started studying. I started playing. I was still a scrub for a while. What year was that? That was like 20. I think I was like 13. I think I was 13 years old. When I found out about like the offline scene, whenever I wasn't a true old niner, I was like an old 13 or old 12 or something like that. So I found out, so I started like trying to play. I started trying to find. I was like, oh, so that's how you do a fireball. That's how you do this. That's how you do that. Okay, cool. So then from that point, I found out about the offline scene when I was in college. 20. Yeah, what year was that? What year was that?
You're decently younger than me, so I wouldn't even remember.
Okay, I graduated college in
2013 maybe?
2016. Graduated college in 2016. I graduated high school 2013. So then I found out about how fighting games were really good in 2012. So yeah, that was pretty much the period of time that I was learning about fighting games, like how to actually play them. And then right from that point, my friend introduced me to this place called Fight Club. I went there. I thought I was pretty nice because I was like number 2 Dan or number 1 Dan online. Got smoked by everyone. That was exciting. Lost $20 that night too because somebody wanted the money match because I was talking too much trash online.
I can see that.
Yeah, so I got humbled that night. That's the night when I was like, oh, so it's like that. Okay. Sorry guys, I guess I'm bad. So I started grinding pretty hard from that point. I quit the game pretty much every day, and now I'm here.
So you really didn't learn about the true elements of the scene until you came out here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I was curious if you got to
Okay.
like actually witness the scene before you come out here. Like, what was the difference of it and stuff?
No, Africa is pretty sheltered from esports as a whole for the most part. Just now, we're now seeing continental level tournaments in Africa. Best player in Africa is apparently from Cameroon. Then there are a few really strong players from different countries as well. So Now they're starting to build up. So hopefully, eventually, they have a system down there that actually give players opportunities and give scenes opportunities to grow. But for right now, most people are just still casuals, and the competitive players don't have the opportunity to travel yet, and that's now. So imagine what it was like back then.
Oh yeah. So y'all, even growing up, you didn't have like arcades out there and stuff.
Oh no, we had arcades, but arcades were, like I said, extremely casual. I was a button masher that played all games, right? Fighting games were just another game. If anything, we're a lot more competitive in games like FIFA because
Yeah.
soccer is huge. So it was a lot of that going on, and which is actually I just now thought about this. Even in FIFA, I was extremely defensive and reactive. So I guess that was always a part of me in some sense. But yeah, I mean, it was just another genre of gaming. I played King of Fighters. I'm sure I touched Killer Instinct at some point. But Street Fighter was the one that we definitely played consistently, and I played Capcom vs SNK. I remember that, but I was at no point aware that people did this stuff with any seriousness, except for winning some money for candy that my brother got me, like maybe a 5% cut of what I actually won. So,
Yo, Doc, that story of your older brother gambling on you is hilarious because that is exactly how my first experience with fighting games was.
yeah.
When I was a youngster, we lived in Stockton, California. My older brother's 10 years older than me, and he took me to the arcade just to show me what arcades was talking about, right? And he shows me Street Fighter, and in my eyes, like he was super nice, right?
Yeah.
We would go every weekend. I finally got to the point where I was getting to where I could beat him. Then I got to the point where he couldn't touch me.
Yeah.
And so then it started going. We'd get up there, and then he would be like, "Bet you can't beat him," and he'd just bet on me, bet on me. And I love what you said at the end. You got a little cut. You don't even know how much he was actually making.
Yeah.
I'm so little, right? I didn't think about it until a couple years ago.
Damn.
We would leave, and he would take me to get ice cream, and I'm just happy as hell. I'm a little kid. I'm like, ice cream? Heck yeah, I'll play some video games for ice cream. But come to think of it, like, how much was he really getting?
Wait a second.
Low key though, it was a fair cut, right? It's unfair to think about it now because like that was mine, but back then it was like as a kid you don't really need much, and you wouldn't have even had that opportunity or those matches to begin with, right?
Yeah.
So fair agent cut, but I would have at least 50%, man. Like, come on, man. Like, come on.
Yo, Doc, did you have that moment where you got so nice that your older brother couldn't touch you no more?
Yes, this happened for multiple games actually. So I remember my older brother got both of them. They got this game called Virtual Tennis. It was on PS3, and it was either Virtual Tennis 3, I think. And I actually played tennis like in real life. Like I'm actually pretty good at it, right? I competed like on the
Nice.
trying to get back into it and everything like that. So I remember that they got the game, and I was like, oh, this is easy. It's like playing tennis, but I don't actually have to be perfect with my shots. This character does it for me, godlike. So I'm playing them, and I guess I understood the strategy more because it was just easy. I just did the thing that I was supposed to do, and they couldn't win no matter what I did. They would pick the best male character because male characters actually have like the real life attributes, right? They hit harder. They're generally faster. They're related directly to the actual athletes. And I would pick like Serena, which she's still godlike though. Like I was kind of cheating. So and then I would always win no matter who I picked. I was like, yo, pick the character with the lowest stats. Didn't matter. I would always beat them. So one day I came home from school and the game was gone. The game was
wow, he threw it in. He was like,
gone, bro. It was gone. I was like,
trash.
What? The game was gone. I was like, wow. And I
that
actually
is too funny.
I think if tennis games came out, I think I'd be the best in the world. I was so good at that game, man.
Yo, I like sidetracked about that though. When I saw you post that picture you played, I got so excited. Whenever like the next time I come to Texas for something, we legit have to find a court, dude. I have like majority of the people that I actually try to like go play with out here, they want to go play, but like they have no idea how to like actually play tennis.
Yeah.
And it like I don't know that until we get to the court and they're like, oh yeah, you know, like there's no out, right? Or some shit like that. So we definitely got to play. I love tennis. That's
Yeah.
I actually I think it was like my junior year, I had picked it up as like a joke. Like I was just like, oh, I'm just going to go try out just to, why not? And after making the team, like I still was like, it's kind of like a joke around. Halfway through the season, I was like, wow, like this all started as a joke, but like I love this sport and I enjoy playing it so much. And ever since I've been out of high school, like there's clubs and stuff like that, but even all that's dying down out here. So it's just
Yeah.
it's such a nice experience to go like actually hit for a couple hours, definitely with somebody who knows what they're doing.
Oh yeah, yeah. Tennis is it's an underrated sport, man. Because I think I play pretty much every sport. Really, I think I do, except for hockey. I play street hockey. I guess that counts, right?
You can't play no cricket. What's up?
Cricket, what the fuck?
Come on, man. Like, I've never played
Who's
cricket.
playing?
I've
Have
never
you played cricket, Curtis?
Yeah, but I say, what's
No,
your
I just
record
had,
in
I
cricket?
just had to throw the most off the wall thing out there because you said you played everything.
Not played
I
I just like to
water polo.
oppose.
I said pretty much. Like I've played all the obvious ones, right? Even some of the
I
non-obvious.
got you.
So, anyways, before I got so rudely interrupted, I think tennis is a sport that people don't respect. It's not like even golf, right? I've played a little bit of golf, but tennis is different because that game is about strategy, flexibility as to what can happen on the court, preparation, and a lot of fucking accuracy. A lot of accuracy. And people don't realize how hard it is to just take a racket and hit a ball on that spot. Not even hard, just on that spot. That's extremely difficult to begin with. And people don't know that. I remember when I used to when I was in high school, I would come back from a tournament, and the next day, they would have like the announcements or whatever, and they would talk about our basketball team lost, our football team, they tried their hardest but they lost, and I smoked the whole tournament. No mention.
Wow,
I'm
what?
damn,
Wow.
It was the same thing at my high
Fuck.
school, dude. Well, I actually so my high school had a tennis team for like probably like 8 years, and it wasn't even till like my second year on the team, which is at this point it's been like 7-8 years that they had one. Our practices, we had to like literally leave school and go drive to the closest country club to have our school practices, because it wasn't until like the end of my junior year that my high school even was like, well, maybe we should actually build courts at the school. Like nobody gave a shit about our tennis team, bro.
Yeah.
We were using the same uniforms for like 3 straight years at one point. It was bad.
Yeah, I mean, no one prioritizes tennis. Lumen is in the chat. Doc is the prince of tennis.
Wow.
Yo, hold up. Dylan played football, basketball, skateboarded, tennis.
He's
and
done
he
everything.
curled too. Low key, I did all those things as well.
I'd say the only other sport I played was baseball. I haven't tried like expanded anything crazy.
Yeah, I've played a little bit of baseball, but I never like.
Yeah.
I
played
actually
baseball
enjoy
for
watching
1 year,
baseball
and I
more
was
than I like
like,
playing it.
Get me out of there.
Yeah.
I can't understand how people's. Hey, look, call me weak, call me scared. I can't understand how people stand behind that plate unless somebody chuck that ball on that fast, man. I played one season. I said, get me out of here.
Dipping
Get me out of here.
Or a catcher.
As the
they can just
batter,
mess
bro.
up and beam
I'm
at
just
the
sitting
ball.
there.
Yeah.
And you're just hurling this thing at me?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm
Every
good.
time.
And it's not even like a tennis ball. 'Cause a tennis ball doesn't like hurt that bad.
No.
A baseball hurts, man. It's like a brick. It's like a rock.
Yeah.
It's dense.
I've
It's
taken
like,
a couple nasty hits, but like there's definitely 1 or 2 of those hits that I've taken on purpose.
Oh yeah, just to get the point.
Yeah, to get on base,
Yeah.
like when our cleanup was coming. Like I've taken that shot for my
Salute
team
to you,
a couple
sir.
times. Now it fucking sucked, but one of the ones that I took on accident actually got me in my wrist, like on the
Ooh.
bone, and that was I couldn't like really bat or anything for the rest of the game or catch. Like it was pretty nasty. But I've also seen some dumb shit, like an outfielder put his glove up. I guess the sun got in his eyes, missed the glove, hit him in the fucking eye with it, like completely like.
Jesus.
Your homie had like the red imprints on his like eye socket. I was like, jeez, that's stupidity in my opinion, though.
Damn, I know someone that actually got blinded by getting hit in the eye with a ball.
That's fucked.
That
So
sucks.
Golly.
yeah, so like I mean, you're not wrong. Like low key, if I was you, I'd be like, y'all do this? I'm good, man.
That's what I went from basketball. So I played basketball, played football, and then I was like, man, let me just go ahead and play a year. I wanted to actually play baseball, but then I felt what it was like to be the batter. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and go back over here and shoot some hoops. I'm good on that. I always wanted to play tennis, man. I always wanted to. I watch it. I love watching Wimbledon and
Yeah,
things like
tennis is
that.
one of my
But
favorite sports to watch. But
it's
yeah,
awesome. It is
What
so
is it?
awesome. It's not like
tennis.
I can, there's a difference in knowing the skill level and watching it from that aspect. But I feel like I do understand the skill to a point as an athlete. But that's why I just love the sport. I've never really
Have you
played like
played
that.
it
My
before?
little brother plays.
Have you played it
Huh?
before at all? Have you played it before at
No,
all?
but no. I mean, dabble just on some bull crap. I'll never call that I played tennis. Just
Okay.
on
Yeah.
some bull crap. My
Yeah, I've
little
never
brother
played a
plays.
full game myself either or anything like that. But I've like went out with some family and learned a little bit like how to serve and stuff like that.
Oh,
Bro,
yeah.
I'll keep it 100 out of all the sports that I've played and like all like other sports I've taken really seriously. To this day, I'll still say tennis is my absolute favorite sport. It's just something about it when you actually know how to play the game and you hit up somebody who's actually knows how to play the game and you go to the court and you just start hitting for the next thing you know 2 hours went by. It's I mean not only is it, great movement, but the strategy behind it, but it's
Yeah.
just it's so hard to like understand how peaceful and like relaxing a sport can be.
You know what's crazy about tennis on a really high level is that the amount of energy you're spending sneaks up on you.
Oh
Because most
yeah.
sports is like, oh yeah, I did all the okay, I got to catch my breath, right? Tennis is like, oh yeah, but by the time like you're like
And you keep
midpoint,
going.
you just serve, you're like, the fuck? You're like, you have to catch that ball, but you can't even reach it. You're like, yo, what just happened? It's like I like playing soccer because soccer is cool. If I'm playing defensive or offensive, if the ball's on the defensive, I'm just like making sure I'm close to them. I'm just walking. I can't do shit about that. You just you hold your breath. You take your breath. But in tennis, it's you ramp up, then you stop, then you ramp up, then you stop, then you ramp up, then you stop. But the stopping is very short. It's a lot of short stops. So it's kind of like gym reps almost. It sneaks up on you, but you have to be playing on a really high level to experience that. It's completely different.
So now I'm curious, who's your favorite player?
My favorite that's changed over the years, man.
Mine's pretty much still consistent.
I like the big three. I mean, Federer. It's hard not to like Federer, man. It's hard not to like him. I used to like Safin.
He's too nice.
Went off the board. Yeah. Federer. Oh, when you say nice, you mean nice like skill or nice like as a person?
No, I'm skilled. Yeah, I'm skilled.
No. Yeah, like Federer is like actually nice as a person. Like he's like legit the most down to earth celebrity I've ever fucking met or seen. Sorry, not met. Seen. Like he's so normal that you wouldn't believe he's famous at all. Like
Awesome.
so normal. Like it's crazy. And then I mean, it's hard not to like Nadal, but that dude's fast.
Yeah, that's actually my favorite player.
That dude is a beast. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
I spent like the whole beginning of my when I started playing tennis trying to like mimic his play style. Like just because I love the way he plays. Even like my rackets, every racket I've ever bought was at the time the newest update of like his Babolat racket.
Yeah, yellow and black. Yellow and white black, yeah. It's been pretty consistent, yeah.
Like the racket I have right now is probably I think it's like the 2015 Nadal model.
If I had to choose though, I would have to say Federer just because I also have a one-handed backhand.
I can't.
Only for that.
Dude, I can't. I've never. Even when I did like actual lessons when I was younger, I don't. My two-handed backhand's trash. I only use a one-handed backhand.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I was thinking about it recently, and I was like, why don't I return serves with two-handed backhands, and then play everything else with a one-handed backhand? Because returning serves with one-handed backhand is fucking annoying. That shit's trash. Because you can't get the power back very often. You have to just kind of reach for the ball, or just slice it. But anyways, this is getting too deep into tennis.
Hold on. I'm curious though. I'm curious.
I tell you, I was loving it.
That's cool.
It's nice to have that.
I had a question that's kind of relevant
topic,
to other stuff. Like, is there anything that you've taken from competing in tennis and have like utilized for like fighting games and stuff?
Man,
like mentality wise, anything sort of.
That's hard because my whole life is like
competition is competition.
Yeah,
that makes
exactly.
sense.
Like nerves, I don't know. Did I really have nerves? I mean, I've been competing against my brother's friends for money since I was like 5, so I think that went out the window at a very young age.
Yeah.
So what did I learn from tennis? I think maybe respect. Like getting respect as well as giving respect. I think so. That what probably was a very early lesson for me, because there were so many situations where you have to admit that someone is better than you, right? That's hard. I mean, it's not saying that it's going to be that way forever, but there's some people that just can't admit how I lost that, right?
Mhm.
It's the wind or my racket or whatever nonsense. FGC OS, right? It always happens. So I think that I learned a lot of that from overall competition. But tennis for me was it was my actually that's not true because I used to. It was a partial thing. It's a 50-50 because I was also a fighter, right? It was just one more avenue to help push that. But I think respect as a whole is one big thing that came from my competitive period of my like high school / college days.
A fighter? What kind?
Muay Thai Taekwondo.
Or
Doc, can I just get your autograph already? I'm done. In the podcast, give me this man's autograph. I'm done.
What happened?
This man is amazing.
What happened?
I said, give me your autograph. You're amazing. I need it. Hang it up on the wall and just say I met this man via camera.
Nah.
He said he got a pair of sandals he'll sign for you.
Nah, I like back then. Like I was actually a really good fighter too. That's the fucked up part. But my parents never wanted me to join a school, so I had a private trainer for a really long time. But eventually, I actually joined a school. I joined an MMA school, and they taught me a bunch of things that I never really knew was a thing. Taekwondo was fine because it's competitive. It's more sport than actual combat, right? But there are many things you can pick up from that. Footwork is the biggest thing, of course. But eventually, one of my friends, my training partner, got picked up to be on amateur Team America for Muay Thai in Thailand. And my coach was talking about potentially putting me on that. I was only 17 at the time. And so my parents they just cut it. They're like, no, you're not doing that anymore because he was getting too real, right? This was just supposed to be for like recreation, but I was like getting into it, so they cut it. And then my friend got $1 million contract, but then he got caught smoking weed and doing drugs, and then he lost it. He's back into it now.
Sucks, man.
I'm following him now. He's getting back into it. He's really close to the UFC. He's really close now. But when I look at him, I'm like, damn, that. I could have legit done it, maybe. Who knows? But when I watch fighters, when I remember what it was like getting punched in the face, which only happened to me twice, that was enough. That's when I decided I'm just gonna run away and jab, man. Fuck that. But when I watched that happen, I was like, damn, like maybe it was for the best. Maybe it's not worth being a fighter if you're just gonna get hit in the face and then potentially get brain damage in the long run. So I don't know. It's one of those things where it's like bittersweet, but. Yeah, I was really into it. I trained every day. I would go play tennis, go straight to the gym every day, go home, and then still hit the bag every single day.
Nice. Yo, so they said something about Texas. Where do you live at in Texas?
Dallas.
Dallas?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that leads me to another question. Okay, so I don't know if you ever saw this, but a lot of people did. It was going crazy in the Street Fighter community. So there was an amateur Muay Thai fight out there in the Dallas area.
When was this?
Named Emmanuel Calhoun, Shockwave.
When was
this was probably about 5 months ago at this point.
Yeah, I don't follow anything anymore, but go ahead.
Okay. Well, I mean, if DJ could find the clip, it's so awesome. So okay. Emmanuel gets off the ground. They're having a tussle on the ground. He gets him off of him, quick rise off the ground, and instantly jump knees my man and sleeps him. And it got to the fighting game community, and people were saying that he woke up Tiger Needham. And, but no, he's Emmanuel Calhoun Shockwave. He's from Dallas, Muay Thai fighter. That's one of my homies. Emmanuel Calhoun.
I see it.
You see it? Yes. Oh, that clip is so fire. Can you put that on the screen?
I can look it up. Let's see. Where's the? I don't know where the clip is at.
And a lot of the
Flying knee
amateur
KO
scene,
knockout. That sounds like
that's
it might
such
be it.
Oh yeah, he's wearing tie shorts in the MMA ring.
Yeah.
That was a weird knee,
Dang.
but like I'm surprised. You know what's weird? This is an amateur fight, right?
Yeah.
Damn.
a lot of elbows and knees are illegal in amateurs.
Well, this one
Only reinforced. Only reinforced.
Yeah, this is damn that's hype. That's definitely hype.
I could show it on the stream.
Oh, come on.
I
wanna
can.
see
I
this.
said I can. Yeah.
Well,
I
if you
haven't
want.
seen,
So if it's
I haven't seen this in a minute.
there's one thing I've learned from Taekwondo, right?
Okay.
It's how to handle sporadic movement. And whenever I watch people and just people who just did MMA their whole life, and this is what they did, when they get hit by stuff like this, I'm like, how did you get hit by that? Like he was moving.
Mm-hmm.
He was moving. He did a really quick movement, and your reaction was this. I see it happen all the time in MMA. They always do this. I'm like, what are you doing? Back up, right? You don't know what's about to happen. So
Bro, he knocked that man the fuck
Jeez.
out, bro.
Yeah, let me see. Yeah.
The motion that you showed, it was perfect, right? But okay, so
Wake
I
up,
called
Tiger
him.
knee.
He sent me that clip. He sent me the clip like probably instantly right after it happened, like an hour afterwards. And
he knew it was over. He knew it was over.
The walk off, like, bro, he knew for a fact.
He knew.
He put the hand up like he was gonna clock him again, and he just walked off like, you're done, bro.
Yeah.
But no, so I gave him a call, right? And I asked him, I was like, why in the hell did you get off the ground and instantly jump knee? And he said, because the two other times he got off the ground, dude instantly rushed him again. So he was like, oh yeah, he's gonna come over here, he's gonna try to take me down again. Pah! Game over.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was sick. I really think more fighters need to do Taekwondo, bro. Like, holy shit. Like, it frustrates me so much. I see it happen all the time. People get hit with spinning hook kicks like this. I'm like, what are you doing? It's so awesome, bro. I see this. I'm like, just, bro, 1 month of Taekwondo, bro, you will fix that. That's all they do. That's all they do, bro. High kicks, mid kicks. You're not, bro. You will know how to deal with that shit. I'm not
so you're saying you would have blocked that? You would have blocked that?
No, I'm not saying I would have blocked it, but I wouldn't have been close enough for him to do that to me.
Beautiful. Hey, I'll take that because I didn't understand why my man's ran up on him like that. But it is what it is.
Like, man, it's when I say it, I was legit good though. Like I was legit. That's why it frustrates me because I wasn't just like some scrub. I could have been something. I really believe that.
Yeah.
So like when I see people get hit by obvious things, I'm not saying I was a better fighter than this guy. I don't know this guy. He could have been better, but he got hit by this. Simple shit. That's why it frustrates me. It's like, bro, that's what got you? Really?
That's what slapped you? Yeah, I feel you. No, but I believe you though. I believe that you can fight, you know. I'm not gonna take this and just say I don't like to take that from anybody really. They say that they're good at something. I mean, minus earlier when I was saying that Dylan couldn't hoop. But that was just joking. When somebody says they're good at something until you prove otherwise, I ain't gonna just say you lying.
Except for Dylan.
Except for Dylan.
No.
Yeah.
He don't want the smoke. He don't want the smoke. And like part of me feels bad because Curtis is getting up in age. So like I gotta kind of take that with a grain of salt to begin with. Curtis might be coming out there up in age and he hasn't quit smoking yet. My man's gonna be on the court like slow down, youngster. But look, I'll take it easy on you, bro. So
did I ever tell y'all about when I found out that I was 32?
When you found out
what?
I just what? I'm confused. Tell me, please. Please tell me.
The doctor walks in the room. Oh, you're 32.
It's a short one. It's good stuff. It's good stuff. So I was just chilling. I don't remember who I was on the phone with. I was talking to somebody, and they said something to me, and I was like, "Man, I'm 31." Blah 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 blah. And I kept talking, and then I get off the phone, and then my lady was like, "Did you just say you're 31?" And I was like, "Yeah." And she was like, "You're 32," and I was like, "Nah, I'm 31." She goes, "1988, 2020, January has passed. You're 32," and I was like, "Oh." Oh.
Oh, I hit you with that. Good.
Anyway, yeah, it was a good one. Nice short one.
It'd
I
be
was
like
checking
that.
something
Like
real
whenever I was talking about like my my fighting game path, I was like, wait, I'm 24. Damn, I'm 24. Yeah, so it just happened to me. Yeah, it literally just happened to me.
Yeah, you
Check
know
out,
about
check
it.
out, check out my homie.
quick. Dude, I wish I was
Aw.
still
There we
24.
Hey.
go.
What's up?
I'm getting. Oh shit,
What's his name, man?
Vega.
Hell no. Yo, it is too bright. She ran off.
Well, what's her name then?
Kinwi.
Oh,
I like how I
okay.
said her name, and she was heading over here. Come on.
Does that have a meaning that I don't know, or what we got cooking here? Or
Yeah,
just
it
come
does.
up with it.
It does. So, like, okay, so fun fact. So in
Cook it up.
my culture, right? There, we all know Africa was colonized. That's not a not a secret. So, Cameroon, which is where I'm from, was colonized by both England and France at the same time. This is after we were colonized by like a shit ton of other people. So I come from the English side of Cameroon, which means that you're gonna have their structure, right? So there's a so it's your last name goes first, whatever traditional stuff. That's your family name. Then there's your middle name, which goes at the end, and then there's your first name that goes in the middle on American standards. So the name Brian, right, is what you would call like my colonial name, I guess. It's not my real name. It's just the name that I have, if that makes sense. If anything, it's more like the middle name here. Whereas when I
Okay.
moved here, it's my first name, which is weird because it's like, wait, but that's just my. Anyways, this is a traditional name. My traditional name is Ajinwi. The traditional name always comes from the language that you speak, where you're from. That whatever name you get usually means something. It's a sentence or a phrase or a word or something like that, right? So my name Ajinwi means God knows. Rough translation, something like that. Hard to translate that, but it basically means God knows. Kinwi means God's gift. So, long story short, I just gave her my sister's name.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, long story short. But yeah, so my real name is Ajinwi, but Brian is my first name.
Yeah, I got a lot of friends from Vietnam
I can dig it.
who have names like one of my boys growing up. His name's Kent, but like his family calls him Kang. So and when I was young, when I found it out, it's like I did not understand the concept of what you're saying right now. When I was a kid, I was like, I
Yeah,
don't understand.
yeah,
And he was like, like I think we were in high school, and he was like, can you imagine if we were in school right now and people had to call me Kang, they wouldn't be able to pronounce this because it was like Khang.
yeah.
You know, I never thought of that. One of my homies' name is Anthony, but maybe it was said differently because his middle name is Farouk and then his last name is Karoma. So maybe it was like you're saying that Anthony should have been in the middle.
Switches.
Well, no, Anthony is literally his colonial name. Like,
Wow.
like for me, they say Ajinu is my traditional name, right? But the reason why we have to say traditional name is because we have to classify it as something to begin with. That's my name. That's just my name.
That's just your name. Yeah.
It's just my name. Yeah. The Brian part is just a requirement because when the British left, they left their systems behind. So Brian is a fucking Western name. What African do you know from African descent?
Yeah.
Brian that didn't come from the Western side. Yeah. So
I've seen you use your real name on stuff before, and I was actually always curious about that. So that answered that without even have to ask the question.
So for me, when I first moved here, I got tired of explaining, so I just said, "Fuck it, Brian, it is."
I dig that. Yeah.
So Brian, what made you move into like the coaching and mentor role in the FGC? Like, was that something that you always had in you? Was it something you were always interested in, or was it something that you just gravitated to?
It kind of snuck up on me, honestly. I wasn't really intending to. Just people just kept asking me to help them, and I wasn't really good at the time either. I was okay. I was good enough, So people just kept asking me, "Hey, help me." Something I was really good at off the bat was breaking stuff down and pinpointing exactly what is wrong in a way that I can tell them, "Hey, do this. Come back next time, and I'll tell you what to do next." Which I guess was the best way that I found to help people, and it turned out to be pretty successful. So from that point, eventually, I guess it just got to other people, and then people just kept asking me to help them. I just kept helping. I have a hard time saying no to a lot of people, so I just kept doing it. So eventually, I made this group on Facebook called Docta's Medical School because there were so many people asking me. I was like, "Fuck it, just go to this group. I'll just make videos for you guys." And hopefully it helps anyone who has a question. I'll just make a video. Hopefully it helps all of you at the same time, so I don't have to keep doing it. And then that's when I got the job. I got a job to start training people. I started doing individual lessons and stuff like that. It kind of stuck up on me. It wasn't like like, hey, I've always been. No, it just happened, honestly. So I could, so I did. Short answer.
Okay. And I mean, obviously you've kept rocking with it because you now enjoy it, right? Oh shit!
I
Plot
found
twist.
I found that I am a lot better at training advanced players than I am at training beginner players. Because for me, beginner players it's on them, right? They kind of train themselves. I can tell them what to do. It's like going to school. Beginner players need homework. Advanced players need classwork. Is the best way I can put it. Because for beginner players, I'm like, okay, go do this 50 times. I give them drills, a lot of drills. Go do this 50 times, come back. Do this right here, record this, right? Go do this. It's a lot of go do this for beginner players. It's boring. There's nothing there. I can teach 5 different people how to train beginner players. I can teach anyone how to get a bronze to a gold or a gold to a platinum. That's easy. But platinum to a diamond, that's unique. A diamond to a master to a grandmaster, that's unique. Those people I have a lot easier time because most of the time they're missing something that I can actually grind out myself. Not just, hey, go work on this thing, which
you can
somehow
pinpoint that exact thing instead of like an abstract idea of like beginners have what they
abstract.
need to do.
Exactly. Abstract ideas is more advanced. And I find that more fun because I have to understand this person to understand how to train them. More beginner players, it's really easy. That's something that the game itself could just have a tutorial on how to do this, and they would sort it out. You don't need me for that. That's whatever.
What do you think is like? What makes someone a good coach? You know, like compared to opposed to being a good player.
A good coach can see the problems, the actual problems, not the overall picture, but the specifics. Like the one thing that is making this player lose right now, and then the next thing that makes this player lose right now. A lot of people, when they try to help, I see this all the time. Hey, you could have done this right here, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's fine advice, but that's not coaching. That's more like
It's not the big
advising.
picture.
Yeah, that's more like advising. That's more like well, I guess better way to put it. A good coach can train someone, coach someone, advise someone, and practice with that person as well. You have to understand that person's struggles on a level that they don't even understand. Because that way you can tell them how to fix it before it even ever becomes an issue. There's a lot of that. The problem though with a lot of players is that people have advanced players specifically. They're stubborn. They have ego sometimes. There are players that are better than me that I could get to be better than they are, but I know they'll never listen to me. You know what I mean? Like I see players all the time like, yo, you're better than me already. Everyone knows you're better than me, but I could probably coach you to maybe even win something like Evo. But I know you wouldn't listen to me because you're better or you get better results or whatever. Like I can see issues within people that I don't think they even recognize, and I think that's probably what makes a good coach. And I think it's rare because most people can't see those things. I remember when I had that session with you, Dylan. and I pointed out the things that I saw, and then you're like, oh shit, like that's actually pretty good. I have a path to walk, right? You have to give someone a path to walk and to actually fix, not just say, oh, I'll play you and I'll tell you what I saw and what was wrong. It's not that simple. It's someone's gameplay is a lot more structured, a lot more complex than a lot of people think. It's not just as simple as fix one problem, everything is good. You have to fix the whole thing because it's a puzzle piece. You can't take out one piece to put it somewhere else and expect the whole piece to work all the same. You have to create something new every single time you change something. So it's kind of a hard question to answer, honestly. But if I had to simplify it, you have to be able to restructure the entire gameplay with one little change.
It is interesting though, because I see like there are some players that are incredibly advanced and they're godlike or whatever, and then they're really terrible at coaching, and then there's some players that are maybe below average, but are way better at like watching footage and being able to tell you what's wrong or like what's going on.
Oh yeah.
But when they actually get in the game,
that doesn't surprise me because, like, I mean, this is like how I've kind of like seen myself. Like, I watch so much of, like, I've been watching across multiple games for so long that I feel like you know how they say there's the kind of people that you can take in this massive like understanding of what you know about the game and you watch, but you can't execute it.
Yeah.
I feel like there's actually way more people out there like that than people tend to think. Like, just because you body someone doesn't mean that they don't have a great understanding of the game. It's just not everybody can, you know, do what they know. And I feel like that's common across like past gaming too. Like, I've had like sports conversations at sports bars, and these people know the game inside and out, but they never fucking played the game in their life. But it's like when you dedicate yourself and you care that much and get that into it, like to me that makes sense.
Yeah. If I had to put someone that I have as my highest potential of someone that I've trained at the moment, I would say Nigel, but not for the reason that most people think. Like, I think there are other players that are probably better than him that I've trained. So you remember Nigel won KIT, right?
Yeah.
Before KIT, I gave him an entire strategy for every single player. But then in match, he forgot. If you watch the match versus Magnegra, like there's a point when he was losing because Magnegra kept doing this far jump. And I was like, bro, he's gonna do that to you. You have to crouch fierce him. So he looked at me and I did this. Right? I was getting frustrated. I was like, bro, you had one jump. I told him, like, I don't care if you do jump back jab, back dash, whatever you do, just don't do stand strong, right? To anti-air. But he did stand strong because it's in his blood. And that's when I realized something, this is a little bit of a sidebar. I realized something, both as a coach and as a player. You can't worry about what to not do. You have to worry about what you should be doing. That was my mistake. I think in that moment, before that point, I failed him as a coach because I did give him options, but I also followed up by saying, you can do any of these things, just don't do this, right? What I should have said was, hey, do these things instead of this. That's a whole different statement. It's like if I say, all right, all of you right now, don't think about the color blue. What do you think about? The
Blue,
first thing you think about is blue.
I just looked at your shirt.
Right?
Yeah,
You have to think about blue to not think about blue. That you have hesitation. That's the problem.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're already thinking about red before I said don't think about blue, it wouldn't even be a problem. You could just keep that thought in your mind the entire time to block out any nonsense that might come in. You need to have actual assertion. You need to have deliberacy. So without deliberacy, you're easily influenced. That's the biggest thing. And I learned that day. So for me, I learned that Nigel's the type of player that does exactly what he feels is right, not what he thinks is right. Impulsively, he's a genius. Strategically, he's an idiot. But that's perfect. That's someone I can train on what to do, how to do the right things all the time. So at this point, if he ever fails, it's probably my fault, except for when he's being stubborn because he's a stubborn person as well.
Is that kind of similar to how Toy is too? Like, It's different.
A bit. Toy listens more.
Okay.
He's more unable to do the things that I would like him to do. So, in a sense, if I was to coach Toy, I would have to mold my strategies around Toy. Like Nigel is he's like a timing genius. Is the best way I can explain it.
Mm.
There are things that he does that there's no way I can replicate that. It's impossible. He knows exactly
Mhm.
when is the right time to do this, and he does it right then. That's why his whiff punishing is so good. But his overall big strategy, his overall plan is bad. So if I could take his skill and tell him exactly what to do, and he actually follows that plan and applies his skills to it, he should win. As a coach, you take your student or whoever you're coaching is essentially like a tool, right? They're a weapon with these class of strength and weaknesses, and you create this probability spectrum where this is going to work most of the time for you, and this is how you make it work a lot. And with this palette, this structure that we've created, it's easy to change one thing at a time for whatever situation you're facing, because you already have a structure, a plan, a strategy that you follow. This is a system that you follow all the time. If I can create a system for a player that works, all we have to do is adjust it for each player, for each character, for each situation, for each anomaly. But the system stays the same. You just create the puzzle, you change one piece. But creating that entire puzzle for a player is extremely difficult and time consuming. But they have to get
I
there.
like that you brought that up because that's what I was waiting for. Was for you to talk about it being catered to a specific player? Because there's an overall game plan, of course, because in a game, in a sport, there's a structure. There's an overall game plan. Then everyone has their own tendencies. Some things you can work out of them. Some things are actually a strength that's a tendency, and you got to build around what they're good at. I'm glad that you brought that up.
Yeah, like like me and Nigel, we both play Bison, right? The space that I play Bison at is it's like not really far, but it's like one square away from where Nigel usually would, and I advise him to do that. His reactions and his timing, like I said, are way better than mine, right? But my ability to gather info and use it against my opponent is way better than his. Our results, as far as winning the overall match or set goes, are pretty much consistent and aligned with each other. But he has this tendency and this ability to make weaker opponents weaker than him believe that he's a god. Like I can't push anything, bro. I can't do anything, bro. This is impossible. When they play me, they're like, oh, well, at least this doesn't feel impossible. But look at the score. It was 5-1, 5-1, right? Because I play with the intent to win the match, to win the set. I don't care if I get hit here. I don't care if I take this hit. Whereas he does. He will beat every single button you push. Whereas I'll take some buttons just because I think, well, if you hit me with this, then you put me here, then you're still going to lose. Two completely different approaches, but the results stay the same. If I had a player just like me, I would coach him the same way. Don't play like Nigel. You can't do that. You're not Nigel. Do this thing, right? Take the hits here. Take the chances here. The probability is your strength. You understand that a lot more. Right. So, yeah, you're right. That my goal is to get the result of the W at the end, not to beat every single hit. That's a mistake a lot of people do. Hey, you could have done this, but why would I? I'm just gonna take the throw. Nigel Tech throws better because he can actually react to how close you are, and actually make the right decision a lot more often. He doesn't panic in that situation. I do. I'm not gonna do it. Just throw me. Fuck it. Right? You have to pick up on. That's why I said you have to know them more than they know themselves. If you can't do that much, you can't coach them.
Damn. So, as somebody who, what's up, Chance? As somebody who is really good at giving advice, what do you feel is some of the best advice that you've ever been given? It doesn't necessarily have to be in fighting games, but if it's a good example, since it's more on topic.
A tough question. Now, I've been getting a lot of good advice.
That is a tough one.
The issue with this question is that, like, I think I'm going to get it wrong. I'm not the type of person to always remember the details when it comes to abstract ideas, because I I implement them as a lifestyle when I believe in them, right? So I can, I might even believe that some of these ideas are mine. I might paraphrase them and think that I came up with this, but I got it from this guy 10 years ago when I was, or like 20 years ago, even when I was like 4 years old. It could be like that deep. So I don't know, but if I had to think about something. Shit. This has to be to me, right? Not something I heard. Just it has to be someone that gave me
Anything,
advice.
bro. Anything. Anything that meant something to you that helped you be you.
Can I give a few of them?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, it's gonna take me a bit, but something that stands out to me. Well, let's talk about Street Fighter for a second. Arthur, which is the person that trained me, and also the person that made me quit Street Fighter 4 every single day, told me something. He said, if you can block, you can DP. That doesn't make sense, right?
Wow.
If you can block,
Yeah.
you can DP.
No.
That's
But the concept is that if you're not in block stun, right? If your character is in free moving state, and you can walk back or walk forward or backdash or jump, if you actually have the ability to block whatever is coming your way, you're able to DP your opponent. That means you have a say in what's happening. So let's say your opponent jumps at you, for example, right? And you block the jump, but you're a DP character. If you were able to block that jump to begin with, there's no reason why you couldn't DP that jump. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes total sense.
I get the thought process behind it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean that may not seem like much, but that was.
But let's see, rethink everything to where it's
nothing
is guaranteed.
Blocking?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if they jump at me, why am I blocking the jump? Because for me to be able to block, that means I was in a state where I was able to do whatever I wanted. I could have DP'd the jump. You know what I mean? So I have the option to do something about it. Secondly, Jado, another person that was kind of above me, senpai, if you will, told me everyone is a scrub. Just some scrubs are better than others. So basically,
I know Jato. Yeah,
that's not what he said. That's my paraphrase. He said everyone sucks. Some people suck less than others. That's what he said. Because the idea is that no matter how good you get, there's always a potential for someone to be better than you. You're never at your best. There's no best, right? You're just better than everyone. Being better than everyone is what determines that you are the best. But there's a reason why people can catch up to you, right? They can't catch up to you if you were truly complete. So that's the thing. So that means no matter how good you get, you still suck. It's just they suck more than you. That's it. That's all it is. So that was something I kept in mind as well. That's something to keep humbling you, no matter what happens, not to get too into your own head. That's for fighting games. As far as fighting games, those were two statements that I think I will probably always remember. The first one, obviously, you have control of the situation. If you're able to do something defensively, if you're able to believe that you can't do anything, that you had something, you could have done something about it. Second one, you're trash no matter how good you get. So those were influential for me. I'm gonna quote something from you guys watch Inception, the movie?
I have not actually
I've seen it. It's been a long time, but I've seen it.
Dylan, you're able to play anything you want, right? Can we have sound on that?
Yeah.
Okay. So there's this. You can literally
video.
just search. So in Inception, there's this scene where you guys know Tom Hardy. He comes out like this. Basically this guy shooting a gun. He comes out he says, you mustn't be afraid to dream bigger, darling. And then he pulls out like a grenade launcher and then shoots it. And that was sick to me because I was like, because Inception is all about dreaming, right? You can dream up whatever you want, right?
Right.
And like when you go into a dream, you can dream out whatever you want. Here's this guy shooting a machine gun, taking cover and shit. He's like, why is that your limit? It's like a Green Lantern.
Yeah.
Right? Why is that your limit?
That's what I was gonna That's what I was gonna
Yeah.
say. Green Lantern comes up with the most trash weapons, and he can make anything.
Yeah. So your imagination is your limit.
Injustice too. Oh my god.
Yeah. So it's a lot of that. It's a lot of that. So that for me was also. I mean, it's just a movie. It's just a random ass line. But that
was a dope line, though.
I mean, that meant
I
something.
have
That's
the
like,
video.
yeah, you can go ahead and play it. It's pretty sick. It's pretty sick.
More powerful than catharsis. How are you going to reconcile them if they're so estranged?
Well, I'm working on that, aren't I?
Was there audio?
Hold up. My computer audio is pretty low. Hold on.
And also, he's from the UK, so it sounds extra cool.
Getting quick.
That boy's relationship with his father is even worse than we imagined.
This helps us how? The stronger the issues, the more powerful the catharsis. How are you going to reconcile them if they're so estranged?
Well, I'm working on that, aren't I?
Move faster. Projections are closing in quick.
We still can't hear it.
We got to break out.
Oh, you still can't?
I think if you,
Yeah, I can't either.
If you screen share it, maybe we'll be. It will definitely be able to hear if you screen share it.
There. Sorry.
I don't-
Private.
yeah.
I saw that.
Oh, you can. The chat can hear it. We can't though. Maybe you screen share.
Oh,
it.
and
Oh, can they? Hold on, let me.
Oh yeah, I guess we could just watch it on.
That's
the
my beat. Yeah. It's on the stream, but it's not for y'all on there. Yeah. It's on the stream, but it's not for y'all.
All right, here. Watch this.
Yeah, he's right. He's right. You can hear it on the stream.
All right, here. Watch this.
Yeah, he's right. He's right. You can hear it on the stream.
You mustn't be afraid to dream a little bigger, darling.
Takes out the grenade on. Takes out the grenade on.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, so just such a simple concept. Mustn't be afraid to dream a little bigger. Right? Like, just a little bit, not too much. He didn't pull out a rocket launcher, he didn't pull out a nuke. Just, a little bit. That's the thing. That little scene for me, even though it wasn't like, some crazy, it wasn't like Sifu Confucius or whatever. That was sick to me because, yeah, I try to read the message that a writer would send in whatever they put out there. I think that was meant to be something bigger than just an action scene, just like a little cool moment. I think it was meant to be a little bit bigger than that. That's the whole point of a dream, and the whole movie's based around dreaming, really.
So another question that I have is definitely, I mean, you've taken out some big names before. So when you approach, your high caliber players, legend level players, like how do you approach those matches? You've knocked out. I mean, well, not knocked out, but you beat Fudo at Evo. You've beat Punk at Red Bull. Like, how do you approach those matches?
It's weird, but I believe in my system. So I do this thing. Where I create a sheet. I can't share it with you guys, I don't think. But I create a sheet, and this sheet has every single character listed. Am I able to share? I don't know if it's smart for me to share it right now because people might start kind of picking me. But
Nah. Keep the secrets. Keep that in the pocket. Just explain.
Yeah, so I create a sheet with every single character in the game. And this sheet will label first off my training partners, people that I can hit up to play this character against. I have at least 3 per character, at least 3. And then right in front of the character name, there's a number out of 10. So number, like whatever number /10. And that number determines how comfortable I am with this character. My goal is to get that number to at least 6. At 6, I believe that I can beat most players who play that character in the world. But I think the requirement for me to beat a world-class player is at least 7, 8, 9. 9 is probably as far as I'm going to go. I don't think I have 10 for a single character, except for Vega last season. But now it went back to 6. So for me, when I get a character, to 7 or 8. I truly 100% believe that I do not care who you are in the world. You cannot bypass the limitations of your character because I understand your character already, right? You can't make, let's say you play Bison, your Problem X. Your stand fierce is the same frames as my stand fierce. Your stand roundhouse, still 9 frames, right? Still +3 on block. You can't change that. You can be Problem X all you want, but I understand how these moves work. I understand your options. I understand what I can do. I understand the risk reward. I understand the probability. And I have a system designed for your character already. We talked about this. The puzzle has already been created. Whatever I need to do to adjust this puzzle for you, I can do that. The moment you make an anomaly happen, done. Make the change. But this match, at the very least, will be hard as fuck for you because I know what your character can do. I know your limitations. I know the answers for everything that you do. So when I play someone like Punk and I have someone like Marvin down the street from me, and I've broken down this character in 65 different ways, right? There's nothing Punk can do to surprise me. He can do things better than Marvin, but I already knew that was a possibility. I planned for that. Every time Punk does something, I'm like, yo, I did not know you could do that consistently. Change the puzzle a little bit, right? But the structure is already there. So I don't even step into that match thinking this is Punk. I just see Karen on the screen for me. And whatever this Karen does from this point will determine what I do next. But yeah, for me, I don't care. Like it's not that I don't care. Like I understand that it's Punk. I get it. This guy is godlike. Right? I have that in my head. I'm careful. I'm cautious. But once Punk does crouch medium punch, I know every single option from that point. Once he does stand short, I understand what happens next. Once he steps in this range, I know all the buttons that are threatening me, and I know the answers that beats most of those buttons at every single different timing. So if he does not at least understand that my matchup on the level that I understand his matchup, he's at a disadvantage, even though he's Punk. And I've said this before, and I've said this many times. When I know a matchup, like I don't care about the player. When I truly understand a matchup, I don't care who you are. To beat me, you have to outclass me. You must outclass me. And if I'm playing really well that day, or if your strategy is lesser than mine, you're probably fucked. It's not saying I'm better than the players that I beat, per se. It's just saying that when it comes to strategy, I think I'm a little bit better than most. When I actually plan it out, I think I'm a little bit better than most. So if you came in there with any less than what I came in with, then you're screwed. So for me, I really believe in that. I really trust my strategies, and I really believe in what I come in there with. My doubts come from when that number is lower than 5, which, for example, for Evo, I lost to 2 characters that I did not understand. But when I understand them, that's my biggest weakness as a player, is that when I don't understand you, I might as well just be a gold player. At least it feels that way. But when I understand what your character can do inside and out, there's absolutely no way that you should not be scared of me. That's potential suicide. And
the way you just laid that out reminds me of an old interview from Grant Hill. You remember Shane Battier? Defensive small forward. He was on the Rockets. He was one of the best defenders I've ever seen in my time. You know what I mean? And Grant Hill was in an interview talking about how Shane prepares for people and how he has a booklet of the superstars in the league, you know, prolific scorers, and he has their tendencies and the things that they like to do on offense. And so that's the same thing, man.
I actually go that deep. I have there's this app.
That's awesome.
I might be giving away too fucking much right now. But there's this app on Android called Matchup Notes. This shit is the
Does that
best
still exist, dude? I've been looking for. I swear, I used that in Street Fighter 4 days, where I had matchup notes for Street Fighter 4 characters.
I don't know if it still exists, but I definitely still have it on my matchup phone.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, but so you can create anything you want.
You create a little notebook with the character.
Create the notebook. You can name it Street Fighter 5. They can create the
Yep.
characters. They can have another notebook named for the 5 players if you want to. Then each like you add the Ryu, you add the Ken, you add every single thing you want. You add the images and everything.
Yeah,
You
yeah. You
create
put.
your own thing. And then in that notebook, there's like option selects. There's offensive. There's defensive. There's neutral. Like there are different categories, and I labeled this shit out. That shit was filled with fucking notes. And this was
Is that what you
1.
think Itabashi keeps looking down at every time he
Yeah.
plays?
Maybe in season 1.
Maybe.
Now these days, I'm not as structured, and I want to get back to that point. In season 1, I knew everything. I knew literally everything. Like there was no magic that I walked up to like I don't know what's happened. No, I knew everything. That's why I think I was so dominant in my region for because I was always prepared. But the more the rules change, the more you have to readjust or change your notes completely, right? But when Vega got nerfed, I think I told this to Dylan already. My morale was fucked, man. Like I was borderline depressed because I spent so much time, like people don't understand, so much time on this character, so much time, like every single detail. I knew everything, and even like at Evo when I lost, like I was 1 match away from maybe top 16. You know, like it was close, and then all of a sudden, all taken away from me because Capcom just decided, fuck this character. So that fucked with me. So like up until now, up until like last season, end of last season, I didn't really care, man. I was just kind of doing whatever. But if someone is ever thinking, hey, what do I do? You have to know the character. You have to play the character, understand the character inside and out. When you know that much, nothing can surprise you. All you have to do from that point is adjust to what's happening in front of you. That's it. And have a plan as to what is the highest probability path you can take for winning. As long as you do that, you will beat 99% of players. And in that 1%, that punk, right? That fucking that Nemo, that Tokido Akuma, like that Daigo Gao, that 1%. Those guys, you must first play them to see how high that mountain is, because people don't understand. It's a leap. When you go from here, you're like, oh, Daigo's up there. Let me see. It's like it's a fucking leap. When you experience that and you understand it, then you can strategize around that. And then from that point, you should have a pretty good stance. That's how I look at things. So yeah, but matchup notes. If y'all have it, if you have the opportunity to get that, please get
I
that.
haven't used that in so long. It was so good for me. Whenever I was competing in 4, I would use that for like every set.
Yeah,
Just
I
click
had
on your
notes
own character
on
and then
players.
click on the picture of the next character. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Mhm.
I had notes on players, man. I had Vega
That's
notes.
wild. You had like
Ollie
a
notes.
Flare notebook.
Yeah, I did. I did. I had
That's
notes
awesome.
on Toy. That's why Toy hated me so much back then.
I remember at one point you had told me one of the things that got you on that was you at the time you didn't feel like you loved the game, you loved your character.
Yes, yeah.
And I like in a way
Huh.
I actually respect that because that's like some deep shit. Like you were truly devoted, like you were here because of that character at a certain point.
There are 2 ways to look at it. Like the way I look at it now, at that point, I'm no different from a cosplayer. Like I just cosplay as Vega. Vega is who I am, right? Like that's silly to me because I don't have the option to divert or to put that effort into another character if something goes wrong. This is like saying I'm a master. Like we can't look at it like warfare and say we're in different generations. Generations change in a short amount of time when you're playing video games, right? If you're from let's say Genghis Khan, for example, bow and arrow, right? Horseback riding revolutionized his era in warfare. He wouldn't be doing that right now. He'd be on a fucking motorcycle or something. I don't know. Whatever. Like
Imagining that right now.
yeah, he changed the concept. You know what I mean? So when things change, I can't look at my character as, oh, this is my only weapon. Bow and arrow is all I know. Fuck that. You better pick up a rifle. You better figure out how to make this shit work. So for me, when I think as a strategist, which is I've always been my whole life, I can't help it. I can't just let once I know, I can't unknow. I hate that about myself, but I also love that about myself. I have to use it to my advantage. I cannot say if I can't play Vega, I am useless. At that point, I'm a one-trick pony. At that point, I can't accept that. So I need to be able, not necessarily I need to accept, but I need to be able to switch to another character whenever I want. If Bison gets nerfed right now, I don't give a shit. I'll pick the next top 5 character that I like. You know what I mean? I need to have that mindset because that is what takes you to the goal. The end goal is victory. The end goal is not victory with Vega. The end goal is victory. I can't lose sight of that. So when I realized that, I said, okay, fuck it. Toy, show me what the fuck Bison does. And then that was the end of that. Vega to me is a character that I like to watch. I like watching Vega play. It's cool to me, but I also like beating the fuck out of Vega players. So just it makes me feel better to make them suffer. That's fucked up, but I really feel better. I really do because I want them to realize that the end of that road is not pretty. It really isn't.
So, you're going down the wrong path, man. Let me show
Yeah,
you.
Vega is good, but he's like a secondary character good. He's not a primary character good. He's a dual main good. It's very different kind of.
Is it even worth it to pocket him though?
It's like a surprise pick.
They're
guess, to
definitely whatever matchup you have a problem with. There's for whatever character Vega beats, there's another character that beats that character worse. So it's not worth it on paper if we're asking that question. But if you like the character Vega, for example, like I do, Vega to me is a fun character, right? I make the joke all the time. Number 1 Vega in Africa because I have one of my accounts had so many points and I have an African flag and I'm ranked number 1 Vega. Godlike, I'll take it. But I'll claim that character, not really. I'll play him. If I play a Geef player and shit gets really hard, I'll play Vega. But if I could choose to learn a character for Geef, I'd learn Birdie. I'm not stupid. Why learn Vega for Geef when you can learn Birdie, when you can learn Manat, when you can learn Guile, like when you can learn Nash? Why learn Vega? You still have to put your body on the line. Fuck that.
Perfect answer. Because that's all I wanted to hear.
Yeah. So no, I do think I do respect the loyalty, right? The loyalty part I respect, but loyalty for me it's on a bigger spectrum. I'm loyal to competition. I'm loyal to my goal. And I need to keep that in mind. Vega is not a real person, right? My character's not a real person. I don't betray him. You know what I mean? I betray him by losing with him. I think so. You know what I mean? So I don't betray him. I think even if I don't think as Vega as a person, I think he'd be happy to see me winning with someone else and losing with him.
Which is funny because I remember like a year or two ago, you were through that stage. I remember one time I had asked you, I was like, "How's that Vega going?" I think we might have been at Texas Showdown. You were like, "Fuck Vega."
Yeah,
fuck that character.
Fuck Vega, bro. Like,
man.
Yeah, you can ask Toy, man. I went through like a legit depression. Like I was legit, and it's crazy to think like, oh, you're depressed over a game. Like, I this game was my job, man. Like, I had to win to eat. People don't understand this. I quit everything just to get better at the game. I had to win everything. Like, you know, there was a period of time when I was like really dominant, right? I don't know if you guys remember that. In like season 1, mid to end of season 1, I was really dominant, and in season 2 I was like okay-ish. That period, I had to win to pay rent. The weeklies were necessary. The regionals
it's a good thing to drive you to get better.
Yeah, bro, I had to win. I won everything because I had to win. It was not a choice. It was not an option. I had to win. I quit everything for that. That's why when it was taken away from me like that, it wasn't like some it's just a game type shit, right? And I was young. I made some questionable decisions, but at that time, the emotional toll was insane. It was holy shit. I can't even explain it. Like, it was insane because it's like a character is like a significant other, not like girlfriend or whatever, but it's legitimately like that, right? If you're real about this shit, a character is your weapon, right? It's this thing that you know. It's a thing that's with you all the time. That's what your character is. If your character is not working, you are nothing. You're legitimately nothing. right? That's just is that simple. So if you do everything to make your character good, consistent, worthy, but then the gods of Olympus are like, fuck that. Zeus throws the fucking thunderbolt
It's
at you, right? Your weapon, ash. Now this dude had now you had a bow and arrow before, but you were really good with that bow and arrow. But now this dude has a fucking grenade launcher, fucking bazooka.
bigger.
Anyone who's had their main
Right?
nerfed is like, yeah,
Automatic
preach right
bigger,
now.
bro.
Yeah, AK-47 over here, right? And your bow and arrow now is a fucking what?
You got a water gun or some shit.
They got a water gun. Like now it's nothing. Now it's nothing. It's a fucking it's a plunger. It's a bow and plunger. That's all it is. It's a green arrow shit. That was nothing. And I'm supposed to fight with that? My life depends on this. This is war. It's not that simple. So yeah, I was fucking depressed. You know, like I had to face the truth at some point. It took me like 2 years, but I had to face it. I trolled with Balrog. I trolled with Nikali. I still got better results with those characters while trolling that I did with Vega. I was getting top 16 while doing tap as a joke. You know how fucked up that is? I was doing tap as a joke and getting top 16. And I picked Vega and I get washed. That was embarrassing. That's embarrassing. That's
slid
so
more.
embarrassing.
Oh my
Like,
god.
I can do tap B+2. Do slide, lose. Do stand strong, doesn't reach. Stand fierce, not even an option. Crouch jab doesn't combo. Right? This dude does tap, takes half your health. I'm godlike. I do it as a joke and I get top 16. That's when I knew there was no hope. It was just a troll. It was one big troll to me. It was one big fucking joke to me. So eventually I decided, like, okay, maybe the problem is me, right? The game will always change. The game, not just the game is like Street Fighter, like life. The game will always change. And I have to be malleable. I have to be adaptable. And so I appreciate the respect, but fuck the respect.
Yeah.
It does.
It's okay
it does
to
nothing,
switch,
man.
man. Yeah.
It does nothing, man. Like Axel struggled for so long.
Yeah, I was about to bring up
bro.
Axel. I was like, I hope Axel's
So
watching.
long. I told him for so long, but bro, this like, come on, man. Like, just play. Oh, he's like, oh, I'll play Ed. I said, bruh.
You're like, that doesn't solve the problem. Now you just have a new problem.
I said, bruh.
He finally made the smart choice. He's a G main now.
But he plays V trigger too.
He picks G, and even though the version of G that he plays is on paper not the best, the results are better.
Yeah.
Like that is not arguable, man. Rob is trolling with G and beating my Vega. I know it's laggy, but let's be real. Those mix-ups, it doesn't matter whether or not it's laggy for me to hold up or not. It's not rocket science, man. Like sometimes the game is unfair. Not Street Fighter. Life is just unfair. You got to be ready to do whatever you got to do to win. So I realized that off the bat, man. I did tap, got top 16. I said, fuck it. Toy, how does Bison work? That was that same weekend. How does Bison work? That was it.
Makes sense to me.
Yeah, I guess
Coolest
there's
character in the
certain
game
people.
anyway, so you know what I mean? Go and play Bison.
Needs buffs.
There's certain people that are like diehards and they see their character as like an extension of themselves, but then there's people, you know, like you have more of a competitive mindset and desire to win over everything. So
yeah, like, I mean, cosplayers. That's what I call them. Cosplayers.
So we got about 2 or 3 more questions I really want to cover. But before we do, oh no, you're good. You're good. We want to just take a minute to shout out one of our sponsors, Collector Cup. You know, bam. So if you're looking for, you know, the cam. Oh yeah, I got the cigar. You're looking for something that help you with your gaming needs. Collector Cup.
There's a glare.
The one scoop powers you through your day, your workout, your gaming, keeps you concentrated, gives you the right amount of energy. It works fantastic. And at checkout, you can use code Crescent Esports to save money. So you get a dope ass cup like us or the powder, and bam, you save money while doing so.
Mm-hmm.
Also, you can check out our new link for our new apparel we just dropped at crescentesports.threadless.com. We're going into the next question. So now, obviously, you're our newest member to the family. What do you think was one of the things that made you pull the trigger on deciding to actually move forward with this team?
Y'all dope. I mean, we kind of talked about it. Like, it was kind of weird, right? But like overall, I mean, I've had offers. I've had people like, "Yo, we'll pay you" and all this stuff. I'm like, esports is just kind of inconsistent in general. I've been on the back end. I know how this shit goes, right? It's kind of inconsistent. Just in general, it's just inconsistent. But also, for me, the most important thing is that the people on the back end have to understand and care, right? Because if you can't understand, you can't care. Not really. You could try to, but you can't really care. You have to understand and care. That's why I think that no esports team should be handled by anyone who's not who doesn't understand competitive gaming on a personal level. You guys, first off, understand that you guys are also just generally cool, and I've been watching you guys for a really long time. In general, I've talked to a bunch of your players. Everyone is happy with everything. At least at the time, everyone was happy with everything at the time I was talking to them. I was like, yeah, this team's actually pretty dope. So, if we want to talk about FGC Esports, I think Crescent Esports, and this may be a low bar actually, is definitely top 5 teams in FGC Esports for sure. This is both speaking as a
Yo,
player and as someone who's been on the back end. And people don't know, but there are a lot of teams that have clout that are whack for multiple reasons. I can't say too much because I don't want to defame
Yeah.
anyone, but for multiple reasons, many teams are kind of whack. But no, Crescent for sure. Both on a personal level, professional level, competitive level, 100%. Like it, like when I heard it, I was like, yeah, I don't even think about it. It's not even. I barely read the contract. I'm good.
well, luckily for you, you know that I wouldn't
Yeah,
let anything happen to you to begin
yeah,
with. So good
yeah.
thing, because I didn't know you barely read the contract.
Now no one's like,
And I always read. I have other people read it. I have like legal people read it. No,
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I'm cool with that. It's cool. Like I already know that, like, yeah, like legit. The people behind it are so legit that they wouldn't do anything fucked up to begin with, and then overall the experience, the conversations, there wasn't at any point within the last however many years it's been, I've not heard a single bad thing about Crescent, and in fact, I've only heard good things. And then to interact with you guys over the years as well, literally nothing but good stuff. So, and I don't mean to just like, oh, yeah, they're great. Like that's easy to give compliments. But I mean like on a deeper level, right? Like things that actually matter to make up to groom a player to be something greater and stuff like that. That is something that many teams don't have in esports, and definitely on the FGC. And to even give a player what you're worth or anything close to it, not common as well. So yeah, no, Crescent, not even close, not even close.
That makes me happy. We doing something right. So the next thing I want you to just kind of, this isn't so much a question, but I want you to just kind of run this. Tell us, you started EX Dojo, which, a big thing leads back to your whole the thing from back then when you were like, I'm on a journey to save the FGC. I know that incorporated in what you're doing with EX Dojo, but it has there's a bigger meaning to it. So why don't you explain EX Dojo a little bit?
Man, I've changed a lot in the last 2 years. I've been changing a lot for the last 5 years, really. Every month I'm a different person. I learned so much that I didn't know before. Esports is a riot. It's It's crazy. It's insane. And FGC Esports is even further behind, so we might as well be a mental institute.
Oh my god.
I
not
don't
wrong.
say that. I don't say that to be a joke either. Like
Yeah.
we're like this stuff happening here doesn't make
Yeah.
sense. Let's talk about players. Let's talk about value. And this is stuff that no one talks about, and I don't care. I'll talk about it.
Cook it up, brother.
The top there's a top 1%, and I use 1% very roughly because it's like 0.00. We're talking about competitive players. 0.00001% of players. There's and Rob talked about this before. He phrased it perfectly. There's no middle class, but it's not even that
Facts.
simple. There's no upper class. It's not even. There's no. Fuck the middle class. There's no middle. There's not even a conversation. Middle or middle upper or what? That's not even a conversation. There's no upper class in the FGC. There's only
Just upper individuals.
the 0.00001%. That's only them. That's all there is.
Yeah.
And then the people right below them who are treated like a lower class. Everyone else, peasants. And people don't think about this. And I don't want to talk about the exact numbers, but there are players getting paid thousands on levels that I don't want to name, but let's just say it's above 7, above 8, above 9, above 10.
Oh yeah,
They get paid this.
they gladly release those numbers.
Right? They get paid this. But players who can beat these other players that get paid that, players who compete against these players but are not as consistent, are struggling to get 1,000. That's a jump. And no one talks about this. FGC Esports is not consistent. There's no hope for you unless you are that highest, prestigious, elite class, right? So we'll talk about the elite. We'll talk about the people who are elite, but not exactly the highest elite. What is the disconnect between this FGC Esports and default genre, mainstream genre esports?
Funding and revenue.
Yes, funding and revenue is probably more important than funding because funding is a joke in esports right now. Funding goes in, goes out. It's nonsense. Yeah. And money goes in, goes out. It's like baseball, right? Rich people have teams that they want to brag about, so they put money into it, but the teams don't make money. It's no different from that. But esports could be something someday, right? It's media, right? We're building towards something. So I do think that esports will become something bigger. The circus that is at FGC will become structured eventually. Hopefully, Riot becomes something. They create something because they actually know how to create revenue, right? We talk about revenue. Fuck funding. Fuck that. Funding from the people is the best way. So as a sorry, wait. I lost my place. I got to rant. So I stay on track. What was the exact question again? The exact question.
It wasn't a question. It was just like mostly talking about
Dojo.
You were explaining EX Dojo.
Part of it could be like why you decided to start EX Dojo.
Right.
I feel like this goes in.
Okay. So the exact question. Okay. So for me, when I created EX Dojo, the idea was to get players that have no path to the top, right? Because I think that esports in general doesn't have any of that. There's no real structure. Players that are like, I want to make this a thing. I want to create something. Well, I'm like, okay, well, so you're gonna do this anyway, right? But you don't know how to get better. I'll help you get better. We'll help you get better. We'll give you resources. We'll give you a platform to maybe showcase your skill if you're good enough, and then I will talk to teams for you. I'll give you every connection that I have. We will do everything as a whole as EX Dojo to give you any possible thing that we could possibly give you to reach your goal to being sponsored and travel to more events to where maybe you can prove yourself to get something even bigger. And that was the idea, which stemmed from GGEA. That was the whole idea for GGEA, was to push players and give them resources and opportunities that they typically wouldn't have, especially in the FGC. The problem with that, which is everything I was explaining, is that when you get to the end of that rainbow, sometimes if you don't make that cut, that exact 0.00001% cut, it's a lot of work for very little. Yeah. Some players are okay just doing the work to get at least that much because it's their passion, but it does suck that there isn't enough reward for being 5th best player in the world, for example, compared to the 1st best player.
There's no infrastructure there. There's no real pipeline for players to better themselves.
So EX Dojo, when it comes to me approaching how do we change the FGC and stuff like that, I believe the FGC is something similar to MMA. I believe it's something where partners for individual players are necessary. Hey, have your own clothing partner, have your own energy partner, have your own whatever. Get what you can get to mutually promote what you can promote. That way, you're not just on a team doing whatever the team says you should do, and the team doesn't care about you, the team doesn't promote you, the team doesn't push you out there, and then whatever the team says you get is what you get. That's how the FGC dies, because we're trying to simulate what other genres of esports do, but we're in the exact opposite spectrum, going in the opposite direction, with honestly a lot more potential than they have. Which is stuff with really shitty game. Sorry, go ahead.
I think one of the things that the only chance of truly saving that is when the infrastructure inside changes enough for organizations to see more of an ROI. Yes. Because until organizations are able to see a ROI, there's a lot of players who aren't going to get rewarded what they probably deserve, because the community and the genre of the game makes it, borderline physically impossible for the organization to benefit to be throwing out these things. It's like in Call of Duty, your bench warmers, your people who are literally going 10 tournaments deep and haven't even played a match yet are making a guaranteed 50K, plus all the benefits from partnerships, plus free housing. They're paying for their apartment to live in whatever city, etc. So and that's, imagine that 50K partnership money, it grows your content bigger, and you're not paying anything for housing to not play a single game. And we got, even like you said, once you hit your 5th best player in the world or 5th best player in North America, it's like they're not really seeing anything, but it all falls back to the situation that organizations get put in.
I mean, the system.
Well, that's team sports trickle down, man. When you're talking about those guys that don't play at all and they're getting their salary, they're there to be a backup, right? What Doc said a minute ago when he was saying he was talking about MMA, we've got to do things like that for the FGC. It is a one-on-one. You can't emulate team sports with the FGC. We're doing these tournaments. Yes, tournaments are great. People love to watch them, but that can't be the only thing. There needs to be more prize fights, things like that to bring in attention. What's that one thing that happens? I think they do it once a year. It's in Vegas, I think, and they do like 3 headline matches of different games. Is it bar fights?
Bar fights every year.
Yeah, I think so. I think so.
They do it attached to Evo, during the
and that brings in, what was it in 2017? The big match was the Smug and I'm Still the Daddy money match.
Yes. Things like that. That's what I'm saying. We need things like that. We need a lot more of that. We need our tournaments. We need those kind of things. We need more hyped up round robin type things that do make things into a team aspect, so you can look at a group of players and be like, oh, those are my favorite. I really want to tune in for this. More promotion, more things to get people involved, because if people aren't watching, nobody's gonna pay us.
So
you know what I mean? We just got to tackle all those things.
So
What you got?
I just walked into the end of this. I've been trying to solve this puzzle, and Dylan knows this. That's why he brought up the whole savior of the FGC bullshit. I've been trying to solve this puzzle for the longest time. That's what he said. So for me, if I'm being honest, because I've worked with like, for example, League of Legends, right? I've worked with them, Riot. I've worked with Blizzard, you know. And if I have to be honest, I think that the problem with the FGC as a community when it comes to revenue is that we are stuck with very, very shitty game developers. And I don't mean that as in all the game developers.
Yeah.
Capcom sucks because they're the leading brand, right? Namco is getting a little bit better. Nintendo has not supported Smash up until last year. That's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a game that could have made a difference in fighting games. People would say, "Oh, Smash not a fighting game." No, fuck that. Like, come on, man. Like, we're at the same events. We go to the same shitty ass venues, or really, or if we're lucky enough to go to a big venue, we're all in the same spot. So we're trying to make something happen. We have all the CEOs trying to make something big happen, and all the game developers say is, "Hey, we'll make a leak, put 250K in it. Haha, good luck." Come on, man. That's a little silly. That's a little silly, considering that
with the money that they're making, depending on the game. If they're not making enough money to help out, they need to come up with. There's so much going on with free to play and skins and content and stuff like that.
Yeah, I never understand why Capcom.
My bad. I was cutting you off. My bad. Go ahead.
Yeah. I'm gonna follow up with what you just said. Street Fighter V has this thing. This is the funniest shit to me. I don't even understand how this no-brainer was skipped over. This is how I know Capcom does not give a shit, because there's so many games that, if given the same opportunity of prestige, would bring so much revenue in, mutually beneficial in the players online, offline, and to themselves as a game developers. That is insane. They don't even consider it. Even if they do, they don't do it. Street Fighter V has costumes. These costumes are jerseys, actual soccer jerseys, right? These jerseys have fucking nothing on them. There's a whole jersey line with every character. Laura has her sexy costume jersey with her little tight gym shorts, whatever, right? Of course, you gotta make it appealing or whatever. Why the fuck did they not talk to teams and say, "Hey, we'll put your logo on this, pay us this, because you have the fucking budget." Duh,
like
right?
The War does.
Yeah. If they hit me, I remember when I was at GGA, if they hit me up, I'm putting the GGA logo on this. I'll pay them for this. This is a no-brainer. Why wouldn't I do that? It's so much publicity, so much attention, because fighting games, one of the biggest issues is that you know the player but not the team. This happens all the time. Who is Sonic Fox sponsored by?
Who is he sponsored by now? Or
Sonic Fox. Yeah, I know him. Who is Fudo? What team is Fudo on? I know Fudo, right? But guess what? Now, if you play Mika, you can have Echo Fox Fudo on the fucking jersey. If someone wants that on the jersey, or I can have your name on there. What if I wanted to have a Bison jersey, but it says Docta Afrikan on Bison's back? That'd be sick. I'd buy that. No brainer.
Yeah.
I'd pay $10 for that. Maybe not. I mean, maybe not everyone will do 10, but that's enough people to do something with that, right? So why did Capcom not think about that? Because they don't care enough to think about that. They want to do it how they want to do it. We're stuck with shitty designers, shitty developers that don't want to they don't want to do anything different from what they've been doing because it's good enough. And in return, they're killing the entire scene and not moving forward. What I'm hoping for, and I've been hoping for this for like at least 3 years now, because like the Riot thing has been in conversation for at least 5 years, that they push that forward and they force these other game developers to basically have no choice, absolutely no choice, but to be better. Right now, there's no reason to be better when you're on top. This is the same way when I was the best player in my scene in season 1. I felt no need to practice any further than I already did because I'm beating everyone already, right? Everyone catches up all at once. What happens? It's too hard for me now. I wasn't ready.
Mhm.
When people catch up to Capcom has no choice but to either boost their shit really high up or be second best in the game, third best in the game, fourth best in the game. Who knows how far it goes? If Riot proves it to be a good concept, you know damn well Blizzard is next. They're watching this shit very closely. You know they are. So what's next? What's next? That's the thing for me. I think that there's a lot of potential. We have the numbers. Let's think about just Evo, right? How many entrants were there? Like 8,000 or something? 8,000 entrants,
Yeah.
each spending 1,000. That's like, come on, man. That's millions of dollars potentially that could be put into one single spot to be used for something bigger, for one prize
Mhm.
pool, right? Like, and you could cut that in half, cut that by a quarter. That's still a lot of money that people will donate if the price is for something good, if it's for a good cause, if something simple as putting letters on the back of a jersey that anyone could do in programming, right? You already have the
Mhm.
jersey, it's just fucking complete it and put it for a price. So I think until another company comes in, we're just gonna sit here and be shit, but it's gonna come eventually. And I think that esports in general has not completely figured itself out yet, but eventually it will be something huge. And what I want to do with EX Dojo is place myself in a position that whenever that happens, I'm ready.
I feel that. I mean,
For sure.
it's so successful in other games. 2 games, 3 games that capped on that hard. In their primes until and even now was Call of Duty's done it.
Fortnite.
Halo's done it. Gears of War's
Oh
done it.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
Gears of War, every season, you can support a team and buy, the for the guns. Call of Duty has typically always done it. Right now, it's 10. So because they have the 12 league teams, $10. You get your character you play as gets to wear the actual skin that the players use in tournament. Then you get the whatever. Say it's Optic Gaming, you get the neon green and black camo for your gun with a gun tag and stickers to put on your gun. And people buy that shit up. When I go online and play, typically about 60% of the matches I play a day, I see somebody having the Atlanta FaZe, Minnesota Rocker, or Seattle Surge skins. And then even in Halo, I mean, back when in Halo 4, when I was really big into Halo still, I bought like the Optic Gaming skin pack for my characters and stuff like that, and the little emblems and all that. It's a very successful concept, and you're right. I mean, if they would have brought that, definitely look at Echo Fox in their prime when Echo Fox was considered to be the top FGC team because they came in out of nowhere and just swallowed up every big name player across every game. There are
Right.
plenty of people that would have rocked the fuck out of Echo Fox skins on their characters.
Exactly.
Mhm. Mhm.
Huh.
Out
Yeah,
it
It
being
literally, yeah, it literally just
team
doesn't make
skins, right?
sense
Like, I
that
like that
some of these
concept.
companies don't do it.
Yeah, I like what you're saying about having to incorporate the teams. That's a great idea. But I'm saying just in general, without because I yelled out Fortnite and that was not a joke. If you look at what they did, they're selling people skins for $20.
yeah, it's fucking
That is
$20,
wild.
and they're selling dances.
Like,
They're
what?
selling dances
Yeah.
Bro.
for $12,
Bro.
and then that money goes into them
Yeah,
developing
they could
more. The game changes every
they could do
week,
like
and then
custom
that
taunts
gets
in a
and
fighting
then
game
that
you could
kid
buy or
won
something
what
like that.
$3
Yeah.
million? $3 million.
Stop.
That's what that kid won from that tournament.
You're using logic right now. Stop.
Yeah, right.
That's too much logic. Calm down.
Logic does not apply here in FGC.
It's almost like there's a game that was made for free, that it was the most successful game for an entire era. Almost like a game like that happened. What game? Oh, Fortnite, right? Oh yeah, they sold things that people wanted in the game. Who would have thought?
Yeah, but
Right?
even with Epic though,
How do you not just look at that and do
Right?
that
That doesn't
for
make
your
sense.
scene?
Yeah.
even with Epic though, Epic isn't too far away from Capcom. Granted that they know what they're doing with making money. Epic is fucking terrible when it comes to developer support towards the game.
Well, but the thing is, the game. So okay, think of it this way, right? The reason why I said the FGC is already ahead is because the game supports itself. All the developers have to do is this. It's like a little push. That's it. That's all they need to do. That's all they need to do. Because the people, I'm gonna play. I'm gonna be psychoaxing tomorrow, whether or not Capcom says something about it. It's gonna happen, right? All they have to do is give me the option to say, "Hey, your psychoax is now red. Buy that." Simple, obvious concept, right?
Like, click on this. $3. Psycho X color change pack.
Right, color change pack. Simple. Maybe it only changes it on my screen. Who cares? I like that shit. I'm gonna do it. Make it green. Make it red. Make it yellow. Haha, this is cool. Makes it more interesting. I'll do it. Like that is such a simple change for them. Just go to the fucking package for Bison. Change every purple residue to yellow. That is so easy. I will pay $15 for that right now. I know every other Bison player will do that too. Just make things unique.
Yeah, they could easily. Yeah, the price tag, you would think people wouldn't pay these things. You would think. But when you like something, you spend on it. That's just how it works.
If there are enough things that people could spend money on, there's something that I'll spend money on. There's something. I don't know what yet, but there's something I'll spend money on. There's something. Vega has this pack that like on PC when he slices you, blood comes out. Obviously, it's not good for Capcom because this game is supposed to be friendly for everyone or 13 plus whatever. But I downloaded that. It was cool. So I hit them and blood comes out. Godlike. Blood on my claw, blood on their face. Cool, right? A simple, dumb concept. They can do roses. They can do anything. Like I get that maybe they have this picture in their mind. This is what we want. But there's definitely a line that they don't have to cross. But they can still do stuff to make money, both for themselves and for the scene, to boost everything. They don't have to put their own money into Capcom Cup. That doesn't have to happen. They can partner with other people who will more than willingly pay to make stuff happen. But they won't do that. And I really wonder why. I don't understand it.
Tell you, man.
They tried it with the advertisements in between matches.
Yeah. That was fucking terrible.
That's
like,
so
what they do.
dumb.
They just do like the CPT pack every year or something like that. Whatever.
You know, it'd be cool. Yeah, you know, it'd be cool though. If you played Akuma and you did a demon, the sign on your back, you could choose what it was.
Oh yeah.
Wouldn't that be tight?
Yeah.
Just something to like have your own like characteristics in the game.
Bro, like I swear, bro, this shit is such a no-brainer for me. Like I'm like, everyone is thinking this. I know everyone is thinking this. Like, why I would buy this shit, but they don't want to do it.
Yep. They don't want to do
it. So right now I'm gonna ask you, this will probably be the last question. We're 2 hours and 18 minutes in. But this is the question that's been on my head. Who are the top 10 players in North America in the Docta?
Oh my gosh.
Okay. Let me pull up the player list real quick. We'll talk about Street Fighter.
He has Let me search through the notebook.
I actually have a list of players.
Right.
That I worry about the most. So give me a second.
His handy dandy notebook.
Player.
Hey, Blue's Clues receives emails now. I don't know if y'all know that.
I do not know
that.
Oh, that is too funny.
Yeah.
That is too funny.
That's actually
since we're mentioning Blue's Clues, just a quick piece here. Greatest little Nick Jr. show of all time, Backyardigans. Come on, man. I used to watch that jazz with my kids. I don't know if y'all know what that is, but I used to watch that with my kids. Oh my god!
It's like with the 3D animation.
Yes, dude. Sometimes it was so good that sometimes I'd be like, "Hey guys, y'all want to watch Backyardigans?" Yeah, come on.
You're like, "Yo, I'm trying
one of my boys' kids
Backyardigans go hard.
With some shit called PJ Mask.
What the heck is that?
I don't know. His kids are like 3 and 4, but it's about kids that put on pajamas and they become superheroes. I was like, what in the fuck? I went to go get some for his kid, and I was like, what does he want? And they were like, anything PJ Masks. And I was like, the fuck is PJ Masks?
That stuff is real goofy, man. But once you sit down and you're stuck with your kid, you got to get to liking some of it. I'll tell you one show that I freaking hated. My son used to love Paw Patrol.
Oh, no, yeah.
Oh, no.
I hate that show.
No.
I hate that show.
You ever gone back and watched some of the cartoons that we used to watch when we were kids? Like, just recently, I watched an episode of Magic School Bus and Arthur. And I was like, I'm not going to lie, I could still sit here and watch this shit.
Yeah. Depends on what it is. But yeah,
School
some of that
Bus
little
is hype.
stuff, some of that stuff just holds a place in your heart.
Yeah.
Yo, this is how we know this top 10 list is about to be fucking godlike. He isn't just throwing names out like he's about to. That's why I wanted his opinion, because he's about to put like actual like facts. He's not just gonna be like, oh well, this player's doing well.
Did you say top 10 in general?
North
or
America.
Did you say North America?
North
Okay.
America.
Right.
No, sorry, I'm not. I don't say things very lightly, so it takes me a second sometimes. Y'all can keep talking. Just give me a sec.
I got a question. Are you in the top 10?
I am definitely not. No.
Oh, okay.
Definitely not. Not. So this is a weird conversation for me. There was a time. There was like a 2 to 1 month period when I truly believed I could beat every single person on this planet. This is about when Red Bull happened. Honestly, I was pretty sure there were very few people that could beat me. I was pretty sure about that.
I wonder if that was around the time where I played you in a tournament in bracket one time.
No, I don't think it was. I don't think it was.
It was like an absolute battle.
No, definitely not then. At that point, I was. I hate to say this, I was trolling with Nakali.
Oh yeah. That's fine.
No, this is different. This is like around Red Bull last year. Like,
the one that you beat Punk at.
When I beat Toy, when I beat Punk, when I beat Terrence, when I beat Nephew, like that period of time, I was grinding on a level. I was learning things so fast. I was optimal. Like, I really believed, like, it didn't matter who I played. I was really powerful back then. These days, I'm not as good. I can feel it. I'm not as. There are things that I see. I'm like, yeah, if it was back then, that wouldn't have happened. I can actually see it. Let me finish this list real quick. Hold up. I'm gonna write first. I'm gonna write all the contenders first, and then I'll thin the list out with who I think is actually top 10. Hopefully with no order, but it's kind of hard. Okay, that's this list.
Dude, my cat is a fucking goon, bro.
Back to the party. It was funny. My cat was going crazy earlier in the cast, and then I heard his. Nah, speaking of cats being goons, man, my cat. Whole reason he's going crazy a second ago. So, what was that? Maybe 5-6 days ago. Can't remember exactly. He outside. He's an outside cat. He's gone maybe 9-10 hours of the day, and he ended up getting in a good old boxing match like he always does. He's always out here fighting other cats. You can hear him, and this time he got his side gashed open. So we had to take him. My lady had to take him to the vet. Take him to the vet. Comes home. Now he's got this little cone on his head, and my dog.
Dude, cats with the cone
it's
on
like,
it's so
dude,
funny.
it's hilarious. At first, he had no idea what was going on. Dude was walking backwards. Like, he's like, I don't know how I'm supposed to operate. But my favorite part is my dog is just cool watching like animals like care about each other, right? So because my dog, as soon as when he first saw the cut, my dog was like, I can smell it. I smelled he's hurt, and he was just like nursing him. right? Like trying to lick the wound and just stay up on him. Like I got you, man. So he comes back and he's got the cone on and he's hurt. And my dog will not go anywhere that he's not at, right? So since he's been wounded and he got his stitches and stuff, he can be in a room and the door can be closed, but my dog will know he's in that room and he will lay by that door the whole day if we don't let the cat out of that room. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
He just wants to be near him. He can smell him and he just wants to be near him. I don't even know why the heck I started there. We were just talking about cats.
I got a Sphinx. In his
We're having
name
an
is
intermission for pet stories while
Yeah.
Doc
I
works
got a
on his
Sphinx, and his
list.
name is Beerus, and he's truly the god of destruction, bro.
While we're waiting, I'm gonna go ahead.
Oh,
I'm about
that's
to use
what
the
it
restroom while we're
was.
waiting.
That's why I brought that up. All right, brother.
I'll be
No,
right
that's
back.
why I brought that up. Is because he was by the back door. That's why y'all were hearing him at the beginning. He's not allowed to go outside anymore because he got fucked up essentially. So he was by the back door meowing like, "Please, bro, please let me out." Oh, I ain't gonna lie to you guys though. I need to go ahead and make sure that these kids are in the bed. And as I let you guys know earlier, I need to get to bed because I have to go to work earlier than usual.
Hold up. My list is not done though. Hold up. I'm almost
Yeah,
done.
This was actually the last question.
I'm almost done. I'm legit almost done. Just give me a sec. Just give me a little bit.
Okay, come on, man.
Almost. Give me a sec. Oh, this is fucking hard. Okay. So here's what I'll tell you guys. I'll give you guys my potentials. The reason
Okay.
why I'm gonna leave myself out is not just because of bias, because I think that in the period of time from when I told you guys, I think I was actually potentially there, and now my skill has lowered a little bit. I've been inconsistent. I haven't played as much online. I'm legitimately bad online. Like I don't know what it is, but I can't perform online. So I can't put myself here right now. But I think when offline comes back, my opinions might change. But these guys have always been consistent, no matter what, in my eyes. So I'll list the potentials right now. There's Punk, there's Idom, there's Strider, 801 Strider. I think that those three are undisputably, Punk and Idom undisputably 1 and 2 in whatever direction, right? Like
Not
either
do?
one, no. Punk and Idom 1 or 2 are 1 or 2 in my opinion.
Okay.
I don't know which one is which, but I think that both those two are fighting for 1 or 2. I think Dua and Strider are fighting for 3 and 4.
I rock with that.
So I think you would think Du is your favorite for 3 or 4, but I think Strider's a little bit underrated in that sense. I think he should be considered about the same level as Du, not results wise, of course, just as far as skill level wise.
See, I thought it would have been Punk and Do for 1 and 2, and Idom
No,
and 3.
I think Idom is.
You can't say that. If we went back like 6 months, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like once Idom won Capcom, once Idom did what he did, once Idom showed what he can do, automatically he has to be considered for number 1. There's no choice. So he picked up Poison, immediately started doing better. So skill has to be considered. So I think Punk automatically has the battle for number 1, or he's number 1 no matter what. I think he is number 1, but I think that Idom has something to say about that. So I'll put that as a flip flop at 1 or 2. So I'll just say 1 or 2. I don't want to make it too complex and say, oh, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or whatever. I'll just say 1 or 2 Punk Idom. I think Du and Strider 3 or 4. Just to be fair, I think Du has the upper hand just based on results, but Strider hasn't really traveled as much as Du. That's the thing. So I'll just say 3 and 4 Strider and Du. That's fair. Du probably has the upper hand, but we'll leave it at that. This is where it gets complex for me, because I think 1 to 4 is pretty fair. From this point, I have a lot of names in pretty much no order. I have Samurai, I have Commander Jesse, I have Toy, I have Justin Wong, I have Rob TV, I have Brian F, I have Neon, I have Smug, I have Shine, I have Pinoy, I have JB. I have CJ Truth. I have Sevens, Terrence. I don't know if I said nephew already.
No.
So
No, you didn't say nephew.
I may have missed someone, but anyway, here. So here, I'm just gonna read it. So nephew, Terrence, Sevens, CJ Truth, JB, Pinoy, Shine, Smug, Neon, Commander Jesse, Brian F, Dual Kevin, Rob TV, Samurai, Justin Wong, Toy. That's I think the contenders top 10.
So any of them can make up the next 6.
Yeah, and I don't even think it's fair to give it to anyone. From my perspective, because no one has been able to play ever since this whole thing happened, this pandemic. I put Sevens in there as like an honorary thing because I've been able to play him before and after, and I think that he's a lot more underrated than people think. People don't even know about him sometimes. So I think he might actually be up there in top 10. But outside of that, everyone else is pretty well established. So I can't say much about that except for the fact that they're established and they probably deserve a spot in top 10. Skill level wise, not
So
necessarily.
with your list being said, I know you said there's no order, but I want to ask this:
There's no order after top
Terrence
4.
or Samurai? I know. Terrence or Samurai?
Terrence or Samurai? That's a hard one.
I know. That's why I asked.
Let me think. I've watched Terrence quite a bit. I haven't watched Samurai as much, but I've watched Samurai a lot as well. What I will say, like I said, I can't answer this directly. I can't. I'll set it off the bat. I cannot answer this. I can't. But what I will say is that Terrence is a fundamentally sound player that doesn't necessarily break from what he does. He's very good at what he does. Samurai is a malleable player, solid as well, that will do whatever needs to be done to win. It's a little bit different of a mindset from both players. Skill level wise, I think they're very similar. Terrence tends to lose to things that he can't beat, like lag. But he doesn't lose to international players. Not really. Terrence beats most international players. He's like an international player killer. If you have to play an international team, just put Terrence on your team. Trust me on that. Samurai, he's solid overall. Jack of all trades type thing. Master of a few things, but not everything. So I don't know. It's tough, but I think they're about the same if we're looking at value and skill. Value and skill, they're about the same. If I had to pick someone on my team, though, I'd pick Terrence. Not because Samurai is less skilled, because Chun is busted right now. I know Terrence is loving it. So I pick Terrence right now just because Chun is on some other shit. So right now, maybe Terrence just because his character is doing better. So that's my final answer. I think if I was forced to put one above the other, I would pick Terrence, but nothing to do with the players. Legitimately, just because I think Chun is doing better than Akuma right now.
Respectable list. Usually, when people make top,
I like it.
Not top 10.
That's exactly what I was looking for. I wanted a tough one, and I think I gave it to him. That was good.
When people pick a like top 10 NA list and they don't have Toy at least like 9th or 10th, it usually really shocks me.
Nah, people forget about Toy. Like people forget, man. I give Toy a lot of shit. I give him like bro, he knows. You can ask him. I give him so much shit. I'm like, bro, you are a fucking idiot. But he knows. Like I tell him I wish I could do what you did. Like I don't understand how you, for example, pick V-Trigger 1 and make people not beat your dash. How do you do that? I studied him. I copy him, and it still doesn't work. Toy is like a genius in his own way. It's a whole different thing. Like it's a whole different thing. People think he's just dumb. I talk to people all the time. They're like, "Oh, what do you think? What do you think about Toy?" I'm like, "Oh, he's pretty good. Like I play him. It's tough." And they're like, "Oh, yeah, he just does dumb shit." I'm like, "Yeah, play him. Talk to me after that." Play him and talk to me after, because they don't get it, man. They don't understand. Like, it's not that he's dumb. He's just weird, and weird just means different. He doesn't do what you'd expect, but he's very good at doing what you don't expect. He is like he is so good at it. It doesn't even make sense. So, Toy to me, ever since he got an opportunity to travel everywhere and do everything he needed to do, he showed everyone that if I go there, I will make shit happen. I watched him run an entire gauntlet at Evo. He beat so many people that it wasn't on stream. People didn't see it, but he beat so many players that you respect. So many of them, and made 17th or 13th or whatever. And people just think, oh, haha, LOL, top 8, right? But you don't understand. This guy was in losers before top 100. You know the people that make top 100? Only names that you know. And he beat all of them, all the way to top 17, top 16. So, like, for me, like people try to put me in top 20, for example, and I'm like, if you put me in top 20, you don't put Toy, you're fucking crazy. I think Toy is better than me. I'm being realistic. I'm not trying to put myself down, put him up. That's not me. I'm not dumb. I can see what's in front of me. Y'all just can't see it because you just want to look at straight what happened the last tournament you saw. You're ignoring the last 8 tournaments you saw. And I realize this whenever Tampa Bison, and Tampa Bison is really good as well. He made
Super
top
nice.
8 at final made top 8 at final round. Was it last year? Last year final round, I think. And I remember Yipes and someone else were talking about, oh yeah, Tampa Bison definitely the best Bison in the US. And someone said, hey, what about like all the other Bison? Oh, I don't know about like Happy Medicine and Toy. I don't know where they've been. And it's like, bro, this is the first tournament of the year. Toy missed one tournament, which of course I don't want to talk about why he missed it, but I think we all know. But he missed one tournament, and we're still in that tournament. And all of a sudden, he lost his status as best Bison in the U.S., top 5 player in the U.S. All he did was miss one tournament, and he lost his status. And
That's out of sight, out of mind.
To me, that was insane, though, because if we want to talk about this conversation goes so deep because for me, I come from. I'm not really like I'm not really like a Texas native, right? I adopted Texas. They adopted me, whatever. But the South in general, like we're talking about like Southern NA, right? Were so ignored that it's borderline hilarious. It's not even offensive anymore because this wouldn't happen to a West Coast or an East Coast player. It wouldn't happen to a player. It's not obvious. It's not like anyone's doing it on purpose most of the time. But it's so ignored that it's hilarious. How did Toy go from the best thing since sliced bread that Justin Wong sponsored to, oh yeah, I don't know where Toy has been. It's been 4 months. He missed one tournament. It was off season. How did that happen? Like, and as much shit as I give Toy, like, it's so obvious that he's top 10 in the US. It's not even like a joke. Like, it's obvious. It's obvious to me. Whether or not he's been placing or traveling in this offline bullshit hellstorm that we've been in, it's obvious.
I mean, the one tournament he played in, he won. He won, that WNF.
Yeah. That's the thing. And the one that he didn't win, he lost to a Geef player, which is impossible for Bison. It's like, I'm speaking as someone who understands, again, logic. Logic.
Yeah, he lost to Stu, huh?
Dr. Afrikan has been the best player in Texas for the last year. Have y'all heard of Toy, or am I tripping? Like, what's happening? What? I mean, I don't want to like downplay myself, but Jesus Christ, this dude's been doing so much work. What's happening? So to me, yeah, he lost his stupendous. Sorry, I didn't mean to steal that question. For
you good?
me, you're right. When I hear people make a top 10 and Toy's not in it, I legit I'm like, yo, oh, here's this guy's in top 10, this guy's in top 10. I'm like, boom. Like, are y'all like really? Y'all don't think Toy's in that list? And it's just, I don't know, man. Put me in top 20 if you want. That's fine. I'll take it. Like, I appreciate the gesture. I'm glad that you think I'm that good. And I think I've done a few things to believe that. I think my skill level is that high. I'm not no matches on that level, but I do think that I am good enough. Am I better than Toy right now? Definitely not. Even whenever I beat him, definitely not. I might be able to beat players that he can't beat, but the only reason for that at this moment is because I play V-Trigger 2 and he does not. I'm not delusional. I can see the facts in front of me.
Well, Toy, I hope you see this and get gassed up a little bit because I know you all.
Fuck Toy. Fuck yourself. Fuck him. He's still random. He's still random. It doesn't change that. He's still random. But no, like I really do believe that. I think that like Rob has gotten a lot, like I said, a lot better in the last. I told him this before, so before he was at Crescent, before I was Crescent, so it's not like a team thing. No, I told him this. It's like, yo, no, you got a lot better in the last like few months. People don't see it. Any last chance qualifier, he got like 9th, and he lost to like some Yuri and shit. He said he was good, but not really. It was okay. It was some Yuri and shit. So it's like, okay, well, you've gotten a lot better. You beat people that I didn't think you'd beat. So Rob is now a world-class player. Toy has always been a world-class player. I've entered that realm as well, I think. So if you think I'm this good, and I'm saying Toy is better than me, I'm saying Rob is better than me, y'all should probably reconsider, right? But nah, that's not how the world works.
So, his LCQ run was absurd. Absolutely.
Yeah, it was.
I think
it legit
he was under us by the time LCQ came around. He was already Crescent.
Oh, was he? Okay.
Yeah. He joined us around that tournament in Brazil. It was like a Brazilian tournament. I think he had joined us like before that tournament or right after. Chance said Toy's dog shit. Dude, I tell Toy a hoe, bro.
Toy is dog shit.
See me.
Toy
Chance,
is dog shit.
So I'm gonna say this and then we go cut it. Chance, you think Toy can see you in third strike right now?
I can see him in third strike.
Chance gonna say fuck no. Toy ain't got no chance.
I can see him in third. I don't know about Toy.
He said I suck.
Look, don't let Chance talk shit. Chance, I think Chance could take most of the South in third strike. I'll put money on it.
Okay, I'll see him in third strike.
Does Toy play?
I actually love to see y'all play.
Does Toy play Tron in 3S?
So my do you remember I told you like the person that taught me how to play fighting games was Arthur, right? Arthur is the king of challenging you to games that you can't win, because he's like an old dude that like played every single game since mankind was created. And like I had to learn games just to have a chance that I have no interest in playing. I had to learn third strike. I legit had to learn third strike. And I'm not. I don't know how good you are, but like his name is Saiyan Nembu. That's his actual online name. He's like the #1 Honda in every single iteration of Street Fighter 4. Online. So he's Saiyan Nembu is Yang's Super 2 in third strike. If you want to know how deep he was into third strike, his legit name was Yang Super in third strike because he used that. That was my teacher. So
I guarantee that Chance has played him. I guarantee Chance has played him 100%.
If Chance is that deep into it, then definitely they played.
All right, look. I'll tell you who Chance's teacher is. Have you ever heard of Hispanic Jap?
That sounds so familiar.
Because he was an absolute Hispanic Jap. He was an absolute god.
I don't think I have.
He was even feared in Japan in third strike. Yeah, I was actually about to say
Alright.
we can keep running this conversation when we cut it. But thanks for tuning in, y'all.
Yeah,
Have
yeah,
a
yeah.
great night. It was
Y'all have a
another
great night,
shout out
guys.
to Doc.
Peace out.
Did you end it?